All right. Happy Friday night to you and welcome into High School Football Tonight, powered by TriStateFootball.com. Post-game show, Week 9 edition. I'm Dan Klaskins, publisher of TriStateFootball.com, here along with our guru, Greg Shoemaker. And we've got a little overtime, bonus time, extra action here tonight with St. Xavier ending up a little bit earlier than normal after their big win over St. Ignatius, a game you just heard here on ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360. The final there, 31-19. And we'll be here until 11 o'clock, breaking it all down. We've got some great help, as always, behind the glass. Kenzie Bartone, our NKU team and friends from Friday Football Live, Elena Moore and Keegan Wood in here with us. And Greg, I'll tell you right now, it's week 9, man. Everything is on the line. We've got some great games, and we haven't done an in-game show like this live for a little bit. This is how we actually started this stuff on a different radio station about 15 years ago, but it's pretty cool. Like, we got games on 7 screens in here, and we got a lot of good ones to talk about.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's going to be a fun night. A lot of great games around the tri-state. I'll tell you what, I mean, X's win tonight, very good win. They needed a big win after they needed to figure out who they were offensively, and I think they did tonight with Daniel Vollmer scoring 4 touchdowns.
No doubt about it. 4 tutties, 163 rushing yards. We heard Tony and Ralph pleading his case for a game ball. He's on the list. He's on the list. We'll hand those out a couple out for sure. But yeah, it's a big win there, Greg. And it was sort of a weird game. It seemed like it was about to go on running clock, then it wasn't. I heard him say that Ignatius had like 306 passing yards. Talk about some garbage time production.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's interesting too, because X came out of that game. I was listening to the first quarter, and they came out of that game fired up on defense. And then, I don't know, they just sort of went to sleep there at some point because Jacoby Clapper was rolling all over the field. They were knocking around that Donovan, what's his name, quarterback. And yeah, I mean, a little surprising that they ended up giving up that much yardage, especially that deep. That's secondary, Dan. If you include Jacoby Clapper in there, along with Riley and Lucas Bishop, it's about as good as it gets around the area. And to see them put those kind of numbers up, Steve's going to have some. He's going to have some teaching to do this week, I have a feeling.
Yeah, always good to go back and watch that tape. And we've got all kinds of scores for you tonight. Definitely, you can check them all out for yourself on the Underground Sports Shop scoreboard at tristatefootball.com/scores. We'll head there now, and we'll get you caught up on other action inside the GCL South. Of course, our top-ranked team in the Blitz 5 Top 25, the Moeller Crusaders, they'll be in action tomorrow versus St. Edward. So they're off this evening. But meanwhile, Elder taking care of some business of their own at the Pit tonight in a game that currently they're on top of Indianapolis Bishop Chatard by a score of 14-0. And when we get to the Elder scores here on the program, Greg, as we know, they're brought to you by Kelsey Truck Country on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg, Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full-service dealer and the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer, all because of your family. Believing in ours, from our family to yours, KelseyChev.com. And Shoe, the Panthers here, 14 points. Nice defensive effort. That's been something they haven't been as consistent with, but nice to see come on down the stretch.
They this team has been banged up, and they've done a nice job of hanging in there, and they played some close games, Dan. And I think next week they got LaSalle, and it's the final game in the GCL South schedule. But both them and LaSalle, they really need that game to push themselves up in the computer rankings and solidify, not only a first round game, but perhaps maybe even a second if you're LaSalle. If you can win out these last 2 games.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm telling you, I'm sitting here watching right now our friends there at Friday Football Live of this LaSalle and Harvest game on my laptop. As we're talking here, LaSalle up 21-14, 3:54 to go in the third quarter, but Harvest on the fringe of the red zone here, facing a 4th and goal and about to go for it there. LaSalle's been playing pretty good football too of late, Greg. A team that's definitely fighting and tough. But our Blitz 5 game of the week tonight was a matchup from the ECC, and there's a big one we want to talk about that we weren't at, but the game you came from earlier tonight, Greg, West Claremont, team that's been playing some pretty good football. The Wolves facing Loveland, and West Claremont getting all they can handle right now. The visiting Tigers up 10-7 in the third quarter. Our Jacob Burkmeyer tweeting that game live at TS Football.
Well, actually, I just got an update from that 14-10 West Claremont. So, and they just went into the fourth quarter on that. So,
Excellent.
yeah. Look, this is a team that's going to be a fast game. We know that West Claremont runs the ball an awful lot, but I kind of figured this is sort of the kind of grind out game that you would see. Loveland's got a new kid. I want to say his last name's Mathis, running the football in the last 4 weeks, and he's done a great job for him. They found some identity over there at Loveland, and I think this is going to help them. So that's why I kind of figured this was going to be a little bit closer.
Elsewhere in the ECC, the game of the night, perhaps featuring two of our top 4 ranked teams, and it's Anderson Winton Woods at Anderson right now, Greg, and we're literally watching this game as we talk, and it's 21-14 with 9:41 to go in the third quarter. Anderson, the Raptors driving the field right now, but it looks like a big penalty here. A holding call is going to wipe out what would have put him inside the 5-yard line there. So this game is living up to maybe not the scoring that you would have expected, Greg, but it's certainly the battle we were anticipating.
I didn't know where to go with this game as far as score goes because Anderson's got a good defense too, and you know they're hanging right in there. I knew they could score points, and I didn't know if Winton Woods could match him on the board. But Zeke Garrett's been running the ball really, really well as of late for the Warriors.
No doubt about it. Elsewhere in the ECC, at least at last updates, all these games still going on, all in the third quarter. Turpin and Kings knotted at 7. Walnut Hills is down 34-6 to Lebanon. Milford bouncing back nicely. They're blanking Little Miami 42-0 there. So plenty of football to talk about. We've got updates all around. Action in Kentucky as district titles and championships could be won tonight. We got some great things going out on the east side of town as well, Greg. So it's a good thing we got a little extra time. We hope folks can stick around with us. You can catch us here. You can catch us live on our YouTube page. And, of course, anytime on the iHeart app. We'll be back with more High School Football Tonight, powered by TriStateFootball.com, right here on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
Hey, you kids look great. Here you go.
Thank you.
Now you can treat yourself to great savings with October specials from AE Door and Window. All this month, but get 0% interest for 2 years. Plus, take 5% off your total order when you combine and save on entry doors and windows from Provia and Pella, summer space awnings, and Clopay garage doors, and up to $125 off your new LiftMaster opener.
Find out more at aeDoorSales.com.
We sell the best and service the rest. AE.
Excuse me. I know you have a 9 o'clock, so I'll keep this short. I'm the business suit in the back of your closet. You wore me nearly every day before your office went, quote, casual. I used to be the CEO of your closet. Now I'm just that one intern no one ever talks to. I always thought you'd circle back with me, get granular, keep me in the pipeline. But nada, nothing. Don't you remember the McKittrick presentation? You spilled coffee on me and I still looked amazing during the breakout talkback Q&A. So I think it's time for me to move on. I've got a great resume and I absolutely crush it in interviews, okay? Let's make this a clean break. Shift the paradigm. The only thing I ask is that you think outside the box here and do this. Take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create new jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
We've been doing our own thing for more than 50 years at Gold Star. Also, you can do your own thing. The coney thing, the veggie thing, the fries thing, the juicy flat top burger thing, the cheesy, crunchy, wrapped up in a tortilla, can't believe this is a thing. It's not what you'd expect from a neighborhood chili parlor. And we think that's a good thing. At Gold Star, you're invited to come as you are, like what you like, and follow your own recipe.
It's finally here, Genesis Diamonds' largest ever sale on luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Hey, it's David Cooper, Vice President at Genesis Diamonds. If you've dreamed of wearing a Rolex, you can't miss this special 2-day event, this Friday and Saturday. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and zero-interest financing on a stunning selection of luxurious pre-owned Rolex timepieces. We've got dozens and dozens of Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batman, Hulks, models you can't find anywhere else. All of our luxury pre-owned Rolexes are in pristine condition, some just out of the box, and all priced to sell at this event. And listen to this, with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings free. That's a $3,000 value. And listen up, Rolex owners. Our pre-owned Rolex buyers are on site offering top dollar for your Rolex. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of special financing. It's this Friday and Saturday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds on Montgomery Road.
Make it more at Thomas More University. Our Saints Essential program is designed with you in mind. Enjoy all access dining plan.
Yeah.
Included with your tuition. Visit campus and receive an additional $1,000 yearly scholarship. Schedule now at thomasmore.edu.
Let's trade keys today at Kelsey Chevrolet. 0%.
He's not answering.
Rebates up to $7,500 and a Kelsey exclusive. $1,500 trade assistance on all new Chevys. Only at Kelsey Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. KelseyChev.com.
Okay.
We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, wherever the mission takes us, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Craving Penn Station East Coast subs? Skip the line and order online at penn-station.com. Get your favorite sub with fresh cut fries and fresh squeezed lemonade. Visit penn-station.com.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? Stand by.
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
All right, let's jump right back into things here on High School Football Tonight, powered by TriStateFootball.com, ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360's Greg Shoemaker. I'm Dan Claskins. We're with you till 11 p.m. We're with you Friday night, all high school football season long and all season long over on our website, TriStateFootball.com, where high school football never ends. And High School Football Tonight is brought to you in part by AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Thomas More University. Accelerate your career with a business degree from Thomas More University. And, of course, Penn Station East Coast subs. Penn Station, it's all in good taste. Shu, let's get to the GMC. Our James Sprague out covering a big one up in Westchester tonight. It's East, it's West. I was watching the game live here on the break. East was actually driving, had to settle for a field goal at their costly penalty. It's 35-24, though. Now they've cut it to 11 in the third quarter there. And, you know, I mean, Lakota West, we know how good they are, but East certainly showing they got a little fight in them here, Shu.
Yeah, I really like this East team. Freshman kicker Fitzsimmons with a 23-yarder just to get East back there within 11. But Dan, I mean, this is a West team that scored 50 points the last 5 straight weeks, and they got 35 still in the third quarter of this one. I'm telling you what, Sam Wiles does one heck of a job with that offense. And, you know, I think he's one of the more underrated players, high school players that we have in the area. 18-2 at lifetime as a starter at West. The only thing he needs to do now is solidify his legacy there at the school is by winning a regional title.
Yeah, they certainly will be a contender for one. And we definitely want to talk a little playoff pairings as we get into the next hour. But let's wrap up with some more score updates for those listening from the Greater Miami Conference, where the Big Blue of Hamilton got off to a little bit of a slow start tonight. They've opened it up now, up 28-0 at last check versus Colerain. Oak Hills is beating Fairfield 14-3 in the third quarter. It's Princeton 13-7 over Middletown. And also in the third quarter, Mason now on top of Sycamore, 22-7 there, and a pretty strong first half for their quarterback. I was tracking that one a little bit online there. Aston Sheaf, 7-9, 133 yards, a pair of touchdowns, 8 carries, 38 yards there, 29-yard run included in that, and Wiggins with both those touchdown catches. So not used to seeing Mason put up those types of numbers. Obviously, Sycamore it's been a little overmatched all season, but Princeton 13-7 over Middletown. I mean, this Vikings team's really it's hard to figure out what we're going to get week to week.
Jekyll and Hyde is exactly the way to put it. I mean, my goodness, dude. Last week they had season high rushing the football. They had 4 guys that had their season highs rushing yards last week. So I thought for sure they'd come out and really, play well tonight and start getting in some sort of groove. But they let teams hang around, and they've given up 30 points 3 times this year. And to me, that's really shocking with the defense. It's got 10 guys that are Division I prospects.
As the week began, the Region 4 playoff pairings, as most recently released on October the 15th by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Region 4, no surprise, Moeller continuing to stay there at the top and decisively. So Wynn Woods was second in the pairing shoe. Currently, the Warriors down 10 here to Anderson with about 4 minutes left in the third quarter. That game's 24-14, but you would think if that result holds true here, Winton Wood's going to drop a bit. Hamilton, they're actually third in the rankings, the Big Blue, which is a little bit of a head scratcher. Princeton, 4th. Then you get Lakota West, 5th. St. X, 6th. Lakota East, 7th. West Claremont, 8th. So those are the teams as we started the night that if it were to start today would have those home playoff games. And for now, we know that Lakota East on their way to a loss, perhaps the Warriors, things could shake up. And if Middletown somehow knocks off Princeton, holy cow. I mean, we heard the Tony and Ralph talking during the St. X game. They're hoping to get that second home playoff game. And
it's going to help a lot.
It's not helping a lot when they're playing St. Ignatius, who's 16th out of 17 teams in Region 1.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, I really think that X has got a good shot here. I mean, but again, well, I can't believe West is number 5 in the rankings. That's the crazy part.
Well, they're getting hurt by the GMC. Would you agree?
I mean, the bottom of the GMC is not as good.
Games.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's handcuffs. Yeah, and at some point you have to wonder, how many conference games do they have to play?
Right. Well, yeah, it just makes scheduling easy for everybody. That's the thing there, right? Because it used to be you played 7, and the 2 teams you didn't play in the GMC, you scrimmaged those the first 2 weeks of the the 2 scrimmage games before the season starts.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly gets interesting, but I mean, as it started tonight, the point is St. X, Elder, these are teams that they're on the road in week 1. They win tonight. Some shakeups is here to happens, and it's all going to shake up and make for a very interesting rest of tonight, and certainly a very interesting week 10.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. One of the things, Dan, one of my favorite stats this week, Hamilton's on a 5-game winning streak. That's their longest winning streak in the 21st century.
Holy moly. That's hard to believe.
They're rocking and rolling, though.
Let's get to some more scores here while we got a few minutes before the top of the hour. We'll go out to the Cincinnati Hills League, another big battle there between some heated rivals. Indian Hill, they're down 17-0 to Wyoming, and the Braves hurting without their starting quarterback, Shu, putting their best foot forward here, but looks like a lopsided affair. Madeira 12-10 in the third quarter versus Finneytown. Deer Park is blanking Marymount 10-0. Taylor all over Reading 28-6 there at last check. So in the Southwest Ohio Conference, Harrison losing to Bishop Watterson 44-7. The Wildcats a little overmatched on this Friday night. St. Francis de Sales 31-0 over Northwest. And I don't know what the heck the score is with Mount Healthy and Talawanda. It was like 35-28 at the half. I haven't seen an update. I was watching that earlier on the Friday Football Live game night show here, but that one's a good one. So we'll get you another update in general on that. But Greg, the CHL, you get into some of these smaller pairings. We won't dive deeply into them as the others, but we start talking about Region 8, specifically Region 16, where Wyoming started the night at number 1. Clinton Massey, we'll talk about their game as well. But, man, these teams somehow always find their way to the top.
And Valley View's hot again. They won the last 2 Division 5, Region 20 regional championships. So they're hot. And Indian Hill's now losing 23-0 to Wyoming heading into the fourth quarter. Taft, they're sitting down there at 6-2. They still got a chance to move up into this thing. You're sitting at 8 in the rankings. CHCA's playing really well as well. They've won 7 in a row. So, and keep your eye on Taylor. Taylor's a team that could be one that makes one of those first round upsets when this is all said and done. They're sitting at 6-2 and looking like they're going to 7-2 after this.
We did have a few games start earlier this evening out of the CMAC that are now final. I wanted to hit on some of those. These games are over. That includes Withrow over Hughes 42-0. So a good one there. Also final, Clark Montessori knocking off MVCA. Zach Anderson, a 20-yard field goal as time expires to give the Lions a 3-point victory in that contest. And also final from Northern Kentucky, Dixie Heights 48-14 over their Kenton County rivals, Scott Eagles. That game, a final score there as well. And we got a barn burner, Greg, 20-20 between Woodward and Western Hills. Two winless teams now going to overtime to see who can get that first dub of the season.
I had to take a look at that one. That's a pretty exciting one because that new coach over there at Woodward, they're on a 15-game losing streak, and Western Hills on a 10-game losing streak dating back to last year. So kind of fun to see them at least have a very, very competitive game for a change.
Yeah, the Miami Valley Conference, obviously, where MVCA and Clark Montessori were. 3 games in the CMAC tomorrow. Dayton Christian at Schroeder, Aiken at Taft, Cincinnati College Prep at Gamble Montessori there. So we've got plenty of football to talk about, coaches to get to. We've obviously got some Northern Kentucky and Indiana scores to update you on. We know East Central was down 3-0 at the half. We're getting ready to go into the fourth quarter now. With Anderson and Winton Woods. There's 2 minutes left in the third quarter. The game has been made now a 1-point game after a Winton Woods Warriors field goal. So they got it back down to 7 here, Greg. With 2 minutes to go, the Raptors about to get the ball back. But this is a big defensive series here for the Warriors.
Really is. I mean, when you look at this game, it's been on both ends. And hats off to Winton Wood or Anderson for still hanging in there and staying way ahead here. But yeah, I mean, the defense here for Winton Woods, just keep your eye on them because they come up big every week, and this could be the chance right here.
Yeah, it's nice to see really good games live up to their billing.
Yes.
There's so many more games to talk about. They're all going to start to go final in the next hour. So stick around. He's Greg Shoemaker. I'm Dan Claskins. This is High School Football Tonight on ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
WLWT Blitz 5 is putting the
I don't know what happened there. Sorry, guys.
5 Nation. How we doing tonight? With Charlie, Olivia, and the whole Blitz 5 team. We're everywhere tonight. It's going to be exciting for everybody. Tailgates, traditions, touchdowns, and more.
They heard about our pool party.
And it's all live only on Channel 5.
Where else would you rather be?
WLWT Blitz 5 with Charlie Clifford and Olivia Ray.
We've got a great night for high school football.
Tonight at 11.
School may be out for the day, but that doesn't mean the learning has to stop. This is Becky Higgins, president of the Ohio Education Association. Student success depends on learning in and out of the classroom. So after things, practice math on the way home with your child, talk about the latest news, and take time to read together every night. Student success is a team effort.
A message from the Ohio Education Association.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter.
You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
If you or a loved one has sleep apnea, you can help advance research that may lead to a cure. MyApnea.org is an online community where providers, researchers, families, and patients can share and learn from each other. Fill out the online survey and wake up to a better future at myapnea.org, a public service from the American Sleep Apnea Association.
Craving Penn Station East Coast subs? Skip the line and order online at penn-station.com. Get your favorite sub with fresh cut fries and fresh squeezed lemonade. Visit penn-station.com.
There's something very dangerous in your home. It could be hiding in a closet or waiting in the basement. It's not sharp or toxic or flammable, yet it helps send more people to the trauma center than any other household item.
Hey, hon, do me a favor and hold the ladder for me.
I
I have a better idea. Let's just call somebody to clean the gutters.
To scoop out a few leaves? I'll be down in a heartbeat. Whoa! Ow!
No.
Using a ladder might seem easy. Misusing one is even easier. Ask any of the 150,000 people who fell off their ladders into the trauma center last year alone. Don't let a do-it-yourself project do yourself in. For tips on ladder safety, visit orthoinfo.org, a public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, who want to keep your bones safe, strong, and well-connected.
It's finally here, Genesis Diamond's largest ever sale on luxury pre-owned.
I just left him a message.
It's David Cooper, Vice President at Genesis Diamonds. If you've dreamed of wearing a Rolex, you can't miss this special 2-day event. This Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and zero-interest financing on a stunning selection of luxurious pre-owned Rolex timepieces. We've got dozens and dozens of Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batman, Hulks, models you can't find anywhere else. All of our luxury pre-owned Rolexes are in pristine condition, some just out of the box, and all priced to sell at this event. And listen to this, with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings free. That's a $3,000 value. And listen up, Rolex owners, our pre-owned Rolex buyers are on site offering top dollar for your Rolex. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of special financing. It's this Friday and Saturday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds on Montgomery Road.
Most tax pros leave a message.
It's Jane. I'm moving on to a TurboTax expert who beat your price. Adam Devine, tell him how I feel.
Hey, tax pro, she's been thinking twice. Best believe TurboTax will beat your price. This is a tax break.
Switch to a TurboTax Live expert and we'll beat what you paid your pro last tax season. Make the switch at TurboTax.com/beatyourprice. TurboTax full service only. Sign up by 12/20/2024 and file by 4/1/2025. Full details at TurboTax.com/beatyourprice.
You've got a Pepto predicament, moviegoer.
Hey, I can hear your stomach grumbling.
Sorry, I ate that entire tub of popcorn with extra butter.
You overdid it, and now your movie has turned into a blockbuster bellyache. Undo it with Pepto.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Pepto Chewables provide fast 5-symptom relief, so you can focus on the action on the big screen instead of in your stomach. When you overdo it, undo it with Pepto. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This is the High School Football Tonight Show, brought to you by AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Penn Station East Coast Subs. Penn Station, it's all in good taste. Thomas More University. Accelerate your career with a business degree from Thomas More University. And by Kelsey Chevrolet on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg. Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full service dealer. And the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer. All because of your family believing in ours. From our family to yours. KelseyChev.com. This is High School Football Tonight.
All right, let's get to it. Hour number 2 of High School Football Tonight, our first full hour. Dan Claskins, Greg Shoemaker here on ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360. We have Kenzie Bartone helping us out behind the glass, and our friends Elena Moore, Keegan Wood here streaming our show live. You can get that over on our YouTube page. While you're on YouTube, you can also check out that Friday Football Live. Some great games as we're winding down. You just got done listening to St. Xavier knock off St. Ignatius right here on these airwaves. It was 31-19 in that contest, and we'll certainly break it down and all throughout the night. We're here with you till 11 o'clock. A lot of games going final, a lot of games coming down to the wire. We're going to get out to the scores. We have some updates, especially from this Winton Woods and Anderson game. But before we do any of that, we got to give out a big thanks to some of our partners here. Definitely those that have supported us, our community partners at Tri-State Football. Gold Star, follow your own recipe. Mellow Window and Carpet Cleaning, the best in residential cleaning services. The Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field, and the U.S. Marines, the few, the proud, the Marines. Shu, let's get to it. Let's start with this Anderson update. We ended the last hour of the program, talking about Anderson getting the ball back. Winton Woods kicked a field goal to cut it to 7. We needed a big stop, and a big stop they got right about midfield.
I got Coach on.
Is where it occurred. The Warriors coming up with a key fumble here. They now have the ball back. They're down 7. to Anderson. 11:42 to go in the contest. They are at the Raptors 44. We'll get back to that, but right now we have our first night, and you just got done listening to his St. Xavier Bombers come up with a big win as they look to claw their way up those playoff rankings. 31-19 was the score as St. X took down St. Ignatius, and head coach Steve Specht here with us on the program. Coach, thanks for taking a few minutes with us.
No, sure. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Steve, big night tonight. Your offense got it rolling a little bit, running the football. Daniel Vollmer, first 100-yard rushing game of the season for him, and you got to feel good about that. And Jake Britt did a nice job running the ball as well. Talk about that performance from your running backs.
Yeah, we went into the game feeling good about running the ball, and both those guys. I'll tell you, even Chase Herbstreit got into the mix a little bit, had some really nice runs, but it was really our offensive line. Those guys are doing a great job. They've improved a little bit every week this year, and we're real happy with the way they're playing right now.
Coach, obviously, one more other season. You guys with the win tonight, certainly only improving your playoff chances. How important is it for you to get to that? You know, we heard Ralph and Tony talking about it during the broadcast, that how important that second home playoff game is for a football team. How do you view that as a guy that, you know, you've been doing this for, you know, a number of years, but obviously home field advantage is there, but, you know, put a little bit of perspective, what it means from a coach's point of view.
We've been on both sides of that coin during my career. There's been years when we've had, you know, home games. There's been years we've had to travel every year. I don't, obviously being able to play in your home stadium is really big, but I also think that just getting into the playoffs, it feels a little bit different. Now the grass is a little bit greener, the sky's a little bit bluer. So I don't think anybody really cares. They just want to play in advance. And that's what it is when you get into these playoffs. It's survive in advance. And if we're playing at home, fantastic. If we're playing on the road, fantastic. If we're playing in a Denny's parking lot, fantastic. I don't think anybody cares when you get to the playoffs. Just play.
Steve, you talked about travel. This team hasn't had to do a lot of traveling, putting a lot of road miles on. Do you feel like this team's a little bit fresher at this time of year, having, you know, not those long trips up to the north and or down south deep into Louisville?
Yeah, we did travel to Trinity a couple of weeks ago, so we did have to go on the road, but it was only once. I know last year we had to go to Detroit, and then we had to go to Chattanooga, and then we had to go to Cleveland, and that can wear on you for a while. But I'll tell you one thing that's different for us this year is this is the first year that I can remember, at least in my career, that we didn't have a Saturday game. We played every game on a Friday. We were consistent. And I think that's big, being able to be consistent with the kids in your preparation. You know, play on Friday, and then you come back on Saturday for treatment films, and you get a workout in, and then Monday it's the same. I think the same routine is really important.
As you to November, Coach, you know, what thing you think your team's going to have to do better if they want to stay alive?
We haven't put a full game together yet this year. I think we've seen some consistency on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game. And really that's what you have to do to advance in these playoffs is you have to be consistent. You can't, you know, even tonight our defense didn't play exceptionally well. I know Jake Broadbeck, my defensive coordinator, does a great job. Was beside himself a number of times. And that's, you know, that's okay. A win's a win, no matter how you get it. But it's like the past 2 weeks, they've been playing lights out. They played great against Trinity, and then they shut LaSalle out. And tonight was they hit a bump in the road. And offensively, we were struggling the last 2 weeks. And then tonight we busted out and scored some points. So if we can find some consistency in November, that's the key. That's the key for us. And I would guess for anybody else in the state of Ohio.
We're talking with Steve Specht, the head coach of the St. Xavier Bombers. They win tonight 31-19 over St. Ignatius, and 6 o'clock start time tonight, Steve. So with an extra hour of your life on a Friday night, what are you planning on doing with that extra hour?
You mean
tonight?
after we leave him alone?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to label the film, and then I'm going to grade the film, and then I'm going to send it out to the coaching staff, and then I'm going to start prepping for LCA.
Oh my goodness!
I think instead of going to bed at 3 a.m., maybe I'll be able to get to bed at 2 a.m.
Well, man, we'll let you get to it, Steve. We always appreciate your time. Best of luck. Hope to catch up with you a little later on in the season.
Great. Thanks for all you do for high school sports, guys.
Thanks, Steve.
There you have it. 31-19, big win there by the Bombers. They will wrap up the regular season next week. Of course, Life Christian Academy, the opponent at RDI Stadium. And you're right, Greg. Coach did bring it up. They haven't played on a Saturday all season, and we realize that too because we've been doing the pre and post game shows, and we usually have a Saturday, a Friday show where there is no game.
Yeah, and we talked about that early in the year with him, and it's obviously this late in the season, it is really starting to have positive effects on the way the team is doing everything.
We've got some updates we'll get to, but we do need to get back out to that Underground Sports Shop scoreboard. We haven't talked much Kentucky or Indiana yet, and we do have some finals from the Bluegrass State to discuss, including the Dixie Heights Colonels knocking off the Scott Eagles 48-14. The final score there, that is the only final in thus far. Beechwood 42-0 at the half. It was Covington Catholic 49-6 in the fourth quarter over Harrison County. That game was on a running clock midway through the second quarter. Cooper putting it to Boone County 48-14 last check there. Ryle's looking good tonight, 36-8 versus Great Crossing. And apparently they had one heck of a homecoming parade, according to Elena and Keegan, who were part of the festivities there. So happy homecoming night to Raider Nation. Highlands 35-14 over Connor in the third quarter. Holy Cross is blanking Trimble County 34-0. Shoot, I haven't updated this one in a while, but at last check, Lloyd was up 7-6 at the half on the road at Lexington Catholic. Go Juggernauts.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a big game for them. And, Kyle Niederman's on every once in a while with us. We had him on a couple weeks ago. Great coach. Does a great job out there at Lloyd. And they've been very good. They're looking for their third straight 10-win season at Lloyd. That's unprecedented territory.
Yeah, we'll see what they can hold on to. We'll track that one for you throughout the night. 46-28 is the score as Ludlow is up big at Bishop Brossard. Newport was shutting out Bellevue 26-0 at the half. Newcath 44-8 in the fourth quarter over Dayton. A barn burner going on between Simon Kenton and Campbell County. Last check, that one was knotted at 21 to start the third quarter. Walton Verona 35-0 over Gallatin County. We'll do this. We'll take a short break. We'll come back. We got Indiana scores to talk about, some live updates, including what's thrilling finish in Whitten Woods, Anderson. Stick around. It's Dan Claskins. It's Greg Shoemaker. It's high school football tonight on ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
Hey everybody, we are Lady Antebellum. When we started out in Nashville, we never imagined what we were going to be able to achieve. We got here because we worked together and had each other's backs.
In America, we have the privilege of being a diverse society made up of people from all kinds of backgrounds. And that's a big part of what makes this country such a great place to live.
When we put aside our differences and work together, there is no challenge too great to overcome. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
For over 20 years, the Underground Sports Shop has been the local favorite for sports teams, fans, and businesses who are looking for quality products with prices they can afford. From uniforms and sports gear to fan apparel and promotional items, we take pride in providing you with the customized products you need and the service you deserve. To place an order, visit us online at theundergroundsportsshop.com or call us at 513-751-1662. That's the Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I did the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Mela Services has been your one-stop shop for window and carpet cleaning for over 15 years. We've built a reputation for excellence with thorough, responsive, and dependable service. Mella's proud of our 4.9 out of 5-star Google ranking because it means we've delivered excellent service to our customers over and over again. So let us put our award-winning team of cleaning experts to work for you. Check us out at mellaservices.com/football.
Make it more at Thomas More University. Our Saints Essential program is designed with you in mind. Enjoy all-access dining plans, easy parking, and more included with your tuition. Visit campus and receive an additional $1,000 yearly scholarship. Schedule now at thomasmore.edu.
A key to your child's success at school rests at home. This is Becky Higgins, president of the Ohio Education Association. One of the most important skills any student can learn is how to study. Help your child establish a study routine and a quiet place for homework away from the television and combined with a consistent bedtime, your student will be primed for academic success.
A message from the Ohio Education Association.
Let's trade keys today at Kelsey Chevrolet. 0% APR is back. Rebates up to $7,500 and a Kelsey exclusive. $1,500 trade assistance on all new Chevys. Only at Kelsey Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. KelseyChev.com.
Craving Penn Station East Coast subs? Skip the line and order online at penn-station.com. Get your favorite sub with fresh cut fries and fresh squeezed lemonade. Visit penn-station.com.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions.
Here we go. Am I calling anybody in this segment?
Cost options covered by...
Okay, got it.
It's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
All right, welcome back into High School Football Tonight, powered by TriStateFootball.com. Dan Kleskens and Greg Shoemaker with you. Kenzie Bartone behind the glass with you till 11 o'clock here. And once we're off the air, be sure to go over to WLWT Channel 5 tonight. WLWT Blitz 5 is live at 11 with all the scores and highlights from across the area. Join our friends Charlie Clifford and Olivia Ray tonight at 11 on WLWT Channel 5. Also, after the game, you can head to the YouTube at 11 o'clock. Sam Reed will be over there on our YouTube channel with his plays of the night. Lots of good ones to choose from, especially Shu if he's watching this Winton Woods game here versus Anderson. The last we checked in on this game, we were talking about the big turnover at the end of the quarter where it was actually the first turnover of the game. The fumble forced by Nate Dawson, recovered by Jaden McKinney. Winton Woods was unable to really do anything with that drive, so they had a punt. One play after getting the ball at the 20-yard line, Trace Jalek with an 80-yard catch and run gives Anderson its largest lead of the night, 31-17. That came at the 6:55 mark. Currently, we're about 5.5 minutes in the game. The Warriors have got the ball and are moving. They're at Anderson's 40-yard line here, Shu, but down 2 scores. They're running out of time. They need to get some more urgency.
Yeah, they really do, and it's got to come fast. They got to get through those holes, and yeah, like you said, there's not a lot of time left, and they need a big stop. They haven't stopped Anderson at all when they needed to. I mean, Burnham's just lighting it up. He's just threading the needle all night long with his passes. He's been fantastic in this game.
Meanwhile, the clock is ticking. One place where the clock is done ticking is at Lakota West, the second-ranked Thunderhawks. And our Blitz 5 top 25, 18-point victory tonight. They take care of their rivals, Lakota East. The 8th-ranked Thunderhawks lose on the road 42-20. Our James Sprague was there. We'll have a complete breakdown of that game later. We'll also hope to catch up with winning head coach Tom Bolden at some point tonight before we get off the air here. But Shu, I mean, Lakota West was a definitive favorite. East did hang in this contest. Respectable effort here, but Lakota, I think they're going to be 5 in the playoff rankings when they come out next Tuesday.
No, that's it. You beat a team that's got 6 wins, and you're in good shape in week 8. So, yeah, they'll accumulate this, and I think next week they have a pretty easy game as well. I was thinking that because they slacked this week. They only scored 42, and they got Mason at Mason next week, but they had 5 straight weeks with 50 points or more, and we were talking about either. Sam Wiles has just been fantastic all season long.
Yeah, and I mean, again, just resetting for those just joining us, we talked a little bit about the playoff pairings entering the week in Region 4, and at that start here, Lakota West was 5th, St. X was 6th, Elder was 9th, West Claremont was 8th. So final there as well. Our Blitz 5 game of the week, Shu, the game you were at earlier this evening to kick off this beautiful Friday night at West Claremont. Loveland had the lead for most of this game. They couldn't hold on to it, though. At the end of the day, it was West Claremont coming out on top. They win in this one 21-17. Bo Rickman just throws a dime to Cameron Strauss for the Wolves go-ahead touchdown. A big win there on senior night. Talk to us what it was like out there before the game at that amazing facility.
Yeah, it's a great place to watch a game, and they get good crowds out there. It's a big stadium, much like Milford's, the newer places, fantastic look. And, Bo Rickman is the all-time leading rusher out there at West Claremont, and Landon Young, who's a year behind him, he's looking like he may break some of those records. But Bo tonight had a season high, 108 yards passing. He hadn't had more than 50 in a game before tonight, but that big home run hit to Cameron Strauss, nicely done there at the end of that game. And, a lot of those receivers don't get a chance. This is only Strauss's 2nd catch of the year. So
wow,
58-yard touchdown.
Not a bad way to pull one in, especially on a big game there. And West Claremont's a team that I don't think anybody's going to want to play come playoff time. I mean, that's not a round 1 opponent you're going to like having to go there to play.
Well, and they're November football and November football. And just because they run the ball so well, and what a great story for Ben Mormon in his first year as a head coach to turn that thing around. Because we know last year when Nate Mahan went down and then Rick Leach came in and filled in for him, it was sort of a tough way to end last season. And Mormon, who was the DC over there, he comes in and does a really nice job of setting righting the ship there at West Claremont.
That's awesome. That is definitely the type of stuff you like to see. And looks like a touchdown here now by Winton Woods. So
4th and goal.
4th and goal. They score on a pretty big play there. They're going to cut it to 7. Well, actually, the extra point pending. That was on the touchdown. Sophomore Chris Mathis coming up with the big play there. So they've cut it there. Extra point pending. 3:25 to go. Wyoming. Indian Hill, that game is now just a 10-point game, but time is waning out in it. Wyoming likely still going to pull out on top in this contest, but Indian Hill also sort of fighting back here a little bit.
Yeah, they've done a nice job, and it's tough when you're in Indian Hill and you don't have your quarterback. You've got one guy, but you can focus on that guy, that Devlin Daniel, if you're Wyoming, and with Joel Hancock being able to run the ball like he does, it's been fantastic to watch what Wyoming's done.
There was a flag on the play. So the touchdown we were getting excited about for Winton Woods has been nullified. And then as they go on the next play, it's actually an interception thrown and a big pickoff right there to seal this game by Jayon Saunders, the senior, coming up with a big pickoff. So a flag actually cut it. It's 31-17 now. Is there another flag? I don't know. We'll go to some other games and come back on that. Right now, it does look like Anderson's going to hold on there, though. We do have some finals to talk about, so let's get out to the Underground Sports Shop scoreboard at tristatefootball.com. You can get there yourself by going to tristatefootball.com/scores, and we'll go back to the ECC. Milford downs Little Miami tonight, 42-7. We mentioned West Claremont wins over Loveland, 21-17 in our Blitz 5 matchup. From the Miami Valley Conference, several games now final tonight, including Cincinnati Country Day shutting out Lockland 47-0 in that one. Miami Valley Christian over Clark Montessori, a game that ended earlier 15-12 there. CHCA 56-7 winners over North Cottage Hill. Summit Country Day 43-6. They defeat Norwood. In the Southern Buckeye and Athletic Academic Conference, we've got Blanchester 58-12 over Fayetteville Perry. Batavia falls to Clinton Massey 41-8. Shu, how impressive of a victory is this for the Falcons?
I'm just looking over this. This is a very big win for them. And we talked to Dan McSorley before the game tonight, and he was ready. His team was ready. But the way they did it, they held Carson Harris to a really bad first half, the quarterback for Batavia. Just a nice job defensively. And you know what? It looks like the SBAAC American's going to go to Clinton Massey once again.
Yes, Western Brown knocks off Goshen 42-7. And it looks like Williamsburg, it's not over yet, but they're up 37-12 on Bethel Tate. That's in the fourth quarter. And New Richmond down 42-7 versus Wilmington, also in the fourth quarter there. In the Miami Valley Conference, Summit Country Day Norwood, the one game that's not yet final, Greg, I'm looking for a final, is Roger Bacon Purcell Marion, but it was Roger Bacon up 21-0 late in the fourth quarter.
Bubba Smart's having a great year at quarterback for Bacon. They're doing a fine job there. And, you know, CHCA is going to end up winning that division of the MVC. But, well, I'll tell you what, I like Bacon in the playoffs because I think they've got enough in their tank to win a game or two and make life miserable for somebody.
And finally, in the GCL co-ed, Alter blanks Fenwick tonight, 21-0. And it was 59-0, McNick over Carroll. Baden will host Chaminade Julienne on Saturday as we wrap up that score. Let's get out to some more break. When we come back, we'll dive into some Indiana scores. We'll start to look at some of the top performances. We got some more coaches to talk to as games are going final all around the tri-state. We'll be with you till 11 o'clock, so stick around. It's Dan Claskins, Greg Shoemaker, and it's High School Football Tonight on ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
For over 20 years, the Underground Sports Shop has been the local favorite for sports teams, fans, and businesses who are looking for quality products with prices they can afford. From uniforms and sports gear to fan apparel and promotional items, we take pride in providing you with the customized products you need and the service you deserve. To place an order, visit us online at theundergroundsportsshop.com or call us at 513-751-1662. That's the Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field.
As far back as she can remember, Amy loved computers, how they worked, what they could do. They were a challenge. She wanted to learn as much as she could.
Okay, got it.
It's her passion. And now she's a cybersecurity officer in the military. If you have a passion, a vision for your future in any field, todaysmilitary.com can be your path to a fulfilling career. You have a calling, we have an answer. Find your way at todaysmilitary.com.
It's finally here, Genesis Diamonds' largest ever sale on luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Hey, it's David Cooper, Vice President at Genesis Diamonds. If you've dreamed of wearing a Rolex, you can't miss this special two-day event, this Friday and Saturday. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and zero-interest financing on a stunning selection of luxurious pre-owned Rolex timepieces. We've got dozens and dozens of Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batman, Hulks, models you can't find anywhere else. All of our luxury pre-owned Rolexes are in pristine condition, some just out of the box, and all priced to sell at this event. And listen to this, with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 2-carat diamond stud earrings free. That's a $3,000 value. And listen up, Rolex owners, our pre-owned Rolex buyers are on site offering top dollar for your Rolex. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of special financing. It's this Friday and Saturday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds on Montgomery Road.
Week 9 of the Blitz, a trip to West Claremont to check in on one of this season's biggest surprises. The Wolves continue an impressive run through ECC play. One of the best rushing attacks in all the tri-state belongs to this team. 11 o'clock, the studio highlights you need as the playoffs sit just 2 Friday nights away. Charlie Clifford, Olivia Ray, will see it.
I'm Tim McGraw, and I have a challenge for you. Millions of Americans have type 2 diabetes, and I've seen how it impacts people from all walks of life. If you have diabetes, accept my challenge at americasdiabeteschallenge.com.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill.
Okay, I got Coach Spires on, but he has another interview with another reporter, so I was gonna have to be fast.
Stuff create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Hey, you kids look great. Here you go.
Thank you. Now you can treat yourself to great savings with October specials from AE Door and Window. All this month, put no money down and get 0% interest for 2 years. Plus, take 5% off your total order when you combine and save on entry doors and windows from Provia and Pella, summer space awnings, and Clopay garage doors, and up to $125 off your new LiftMaster opener.
Find out more at aeDoorsales.com.
We sell the best and service the rest. AE.
Ever lose your keys? Is that normal aging, dementia, or something else? Fear often stops us from asking for a simple checkup from the neck up.
Did you hear me about Coach Spires? Okay, just making sure. Stand by.
Your cognitive numbers are also important. Request our free guide. It's filled with tips for better brain health, facts about dementia, and much more. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Your brain will thank you.
All right, welcome back in. ESPN 1530, Fox Sports 1360, high school football tonight. Dan Classens, Greg Shoemaker, TriStateFootball.com. We're going to talk to another head coach right now. We go back to the Bluegrass State, where Class 5A District 6, big win for the Highlands Bluebirds. They knock off Connor tonight. They do so in convincing fashion, 42-14. Their head coach, Bob Svire, joining us here for a minute. Bob, congrats on the win. A big district win here for you guys as we're winding out the regular season. What was the key to your success tonight, Coach?
Well, it was a huge win. Thank you. They're a really good football team. Their quarterback's really dangerous, particularly running the football. But our kids really played pretty much a complete game in all phases. And I know our quarterback played a fabulous game. Rio was 26 of 32, 332 yards, 4 touchdowns. Just had a really great game. One of our receivers, Jackson Arnold, had 10 catches for 165 yards and a couple of touchdowns. But we had over 500 yards of offense. And other than a couple of chunk runs from their quarterback, we played really, really well defensively. So it's probably one of our more complete games against a good football team.
Hey, Bob, you talked about Rio Littmer. He started off sort of slow this year. What's been the reason for his recent success? I mean, he had 4 touchdowns tonight. I think he had 3 or 4 last week or the week before. But what's been the turnaround with him all of a sudden?
Well, first-time starter as a junior.
Yeah.
So we played a great schedule against some really, really good football teams. And people don't realize we lost 8, 9 starters on offense. I mean, we're actually a really young football team. Our entire starting offensive line tonight's underclassmen. He's a junior. It's just a process. You play a good schedule, and we still beat most of those teams, and he just kept getting better off the process, and really, really has come into his own. I mean, he's really back, and I've had some outstanding quarterbacks. He spins as good as anybody I've had.
Coach, you definitely got a lot of weapons on the team. I like how you guys mix it up each night. Is it mostly a hot hand approach you play with these guys, or is it based off game plan? How determined? Because it seems like every Friday night there's a different one of your playmakers stepping up.
Well, I'm glad you recognize that, because I think that's a product. When we came here a few years ago, was build a total program. And I think we built a lot of depth. I think we got a lot of guys that really understand our system and really IQ is at least as far as how it fits within our system and what we want to accomplish. I think we do as on Friday nights. We trust them all to come in and roll in and play. And Adam Surrey was out tonight, who's been our leading receiver, and I don't feel like we missed a beat. Moore went in there and had a great game, had a couple of big catches early in the game, and it didn't daunt us at all.
Yeah, well, we know you're have a busy night, Coach. We appreciate you taking a few minutes. Best of luck as you close it out next week for Scott. We'll hope to catch up with you during the playoffs. Well, there you have it. Coach Bob Spire, his Highlands Bluebirds, 42-14 victors over Connor tonight. Key district there, a loaded district, Greg. I mean, I just love that Class 5A District 6. Obviously, you got the gigantic team there, Cooper, who is right now atop the state and the RPI of 5A overall. Their RPI entering the week was 735, but Highlands 6-2 now, 2-1. Of course, their only district loss was to that Cooper team. And I mean, as Coach said, they're mostly underclassmen here, Shu, and we're not feeling too sorry about his offensive line without any seniors when they're all the beast that they are. I'm telling you, this Highlands team's going to be fun to watch, not just during the stretch of this playoffs, but certainly for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, Max Mers, their junior offensive lineman's already committed to Louisville, and I love every time we have Bob on. It just makes you know why kids love to play for him. Just listen to that attitude, and everybody gets to touch the ball. That's great football. He's always so fun to have on. I really enjoy his interviews with us.
I'll be happy when Highlands and Covcath get back in the same. I mean, that's the rivalry. I mean, they still play, but it's not quite the same. Certainly not what Covcath right now, they're in district play, and I mean, nothing against Covington Catholic. I think they got a great team and certainly could play with any other team in Northern Kentucky. But, you look at their district, Shu, without Highlands in it in Class 4A. And, I mean, Covcath's got nothing in that district. They're getting these district games. It's Mason County, it's Grant County, it's Harrison County, it's Holmes. It was 49-0 in the second quarter. I don't know. Is that going to get Covcath ready for what they need to be come November?
Well, and then you can look at Beechwood the same way. They're playing in that class.
Beechwood's proven it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, but they don't get any help in the second half of the season, and I don't know, man. It's tough. It's really tough when you're a team like Beechwood and Covcath when you're so much better than everybody else is in your district.
The problem is it's not like 4A's weak. I mean, Paducah, Tillman, Franklin County, Boyle County, Ashland Blazer. I mean, these teams are good football teams.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So, I really like what Covcath's doing. They started off a little funky this year, but boy, they run the football as well as anybody. And I think that's going to be their benefit here in 2 weeks, 3 weeks when the playoffs start.
We know Coach Eddie Evanson will coach that team up. And obviously for Highlands, a good one here. Connor, I was at their game last week. My night off from high school football. I went to high school football games. I was at the game with Connor.
How it is.
Yeah. It was a Dixie alumni night. So we were out, supporting the cause there.
Dixie may be the best team with a losing record out there. They've got some dudes that they put up some points. Their offense is pretty fun to watch, but you got to stop somebody every once in a while.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing good things there, but I got to see that kicker, the senior Andrew Heron there for Connor. He had a 57-yard kick last week, and I was literally sitting there watching. It's the fourth longest kick in Kentucky high school football history.
I mean, that's always exciting when you get to see a big, long kick like that. It doesn't happen very often. Remember the kid that was at Pat Conklin, Matt Conklin at Moeller? He could kick those. He went on to Michigan State and had a great career. But every once in a while, you get a kicker, and they're fun to watch. And Heron's having a great year, fantastic year. We got about 8 kickers around the area that are just head and shoulders above everybody else.
We got a few minutes here before the break, so let's go back out to Underground Sports Shop scoreboard over at tristatefootball.com/scores. And Shu, we got all finals here in the GMC to talk about. Hamilton knocks off Cole. Nothing. Fairfield falls to Oak Hills. I figured it was going to be a close one, 21-18 the final there. As mentioned, Lakota West over Lakota East, 42-24. Princeton does win tonight. They hold on 13-7. That's what the score was, I think, at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, what a game that was. And
Mason, 29-7 over Sycamore. 29 spot for Mason seems like a shootout.
It really does. But you know what? That's one of the teams that's really improved a lot since the beginning of the season. I mean, they weren't scoring points. They were having a tough time. And now they've found a little bit of themselves. They've had a couple runners run for a few over 100 yards the last couple of weeks. And Sheaf with the big game tonight throwing the football.
Yeah, we look at this Middletown. It was 13-7 at half with Princeton and Middletown here. This game, Greg, the final total yards in the contest, just 265 for Princeton, 248 for Middletown. The difference really in the game came down to the fact Middletown, 4 turnovers,
4 interceptions
to Princeton's 1. That's really the big deal there. Landers picked off 4 times. So Princeton's D coming up with it, but offensively, the Middies just really holding this Princeton team. And I don't know. I mean, maybe am I missing something, or is Princeton without some key players or something? I don't know. But
they only had, Tarantino Brown Freeman ran for 115. I think that's his high for the year now. But David Hambrick didn't play, it looks like, and Hunter was there, but he didn't run the ball very much. And it's an interesting night. They averaged almost 5 yards a carry. They just didn't have a lot of plays offensive. Well, 50, that's not bad.
Andrew Wells had 2 of those 4 picks. So potential defensive player nominee for some game balls, our player of the week, and all the other accolades coming up in there. On the other side of it, we mentioned Hamilton 38-0 over Colerain. We got a box score to break down on that one. The big Graceway here, Grayson Goldsmith, one of our player of the Mela Window and Carpet Cleaning reigning player of the weeks. Goldsmith putting up 140 yards, 14 carries. That's 10 yards a carry. He's literally moved the sticks every time he touched the ball. 3 touchdowns. Another big night for him there, Greg.
He's obviously a candidate for GMC Offensive Player of the Year. Him and Sam Wiles are right up there.
And he's the punter, if I remember correctly.
It's funny because he played linebacker last year, and he's got 31 tackles this year. He's not playing as much as he did early in the year, but yeah, I mean, he's a beast. And look at his last 4 games: 166, 244, 203, 140 rushing. So it's a big reason why they've won 6 in a row. Nicely done by the Big Blue, and they're going to probably finish out the season 8-2.
Yeah, and the Big Blue, definitely Hamilton. When we talk about them here on the program, we always know that their scores are brought to you by our friends at AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Our thanks to Bill and Adam Weber for their continued support of high school football tonight for all these many years. With that, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up this hour of high school football tonight right here on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
Mela Services has been your one-stop shop for window and
Okay, do you still want the Western Hills coach?
years. We
Okay.
for excellence with thorough, responsive, and dependable service. Mela's proud of our 4.9 out of 5-star Google ranking because it means we delivered excellent service to our customers over and over again. So let us put our award-winning team of cleaning experts to work for you. Check us out at melaservices.com/football.
We were rolling down this road in
Anbar Province.
all of a sudden
There's a huge explosion.
we knew right away.
It was an IED.
Then we started taking sniper fire
and RPGs from the hills.
Today's service women face the same combat dangers as men.
It's pretty amazing.
We made it out alive.
But at home, women veterans face different challenges. DAV understands this and fights to get women veterans the health, disability, and financial benefits they were promised. Visit DAV.org for free help.
WLWT Blitz 5 is putting the fun back in football.
Blitz 5 Nation, how we doing tonight?
With Charlie, Olivia, and the whole Blitz 5 team.
We're everywhere tonight.
It's going to be exciting for everybody. Tailgates, traditions, touchdowns, and more.
They heard about our pool party.
And it's all live only on Channel 5.
Where else would you rather be?
WLWT Blitz 5 with Charlie Clifford and Olivia Ray.
We've got a great night for high school football.
Tonight at 11.
There's something very dangerous. It could be hiding in a closet or waiting in the basement. It's not sharp or toxic or flammable, yet it helps send more people to the trauma center than any other household item.
Hey, hon, do me a favor and hold the ladder for me.
I have a better idea. Let's just call somebody to clean the gutters.
To scoop out a few leaves? I'll be down in a heartbeat. Whoa!
No.
Using a ladder might seem easy. Misusing one is even easier. Ask any of the 150,000 people who fell off their ladders into the trauma center last year alone. Don't let a do-it-yourself project do yourself in. For tips on ladder safety, visit orthoinfo.org, a public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, who want to keep your bones safe, strong, and well-connected.
Craving Penn Station East Coast subs? Skip the line and order online at penn-station.com. Get your favorite sub with fresh cut fries and fresh squeezed lemonade. Visit penn-station.com.
If you or a loved one has sleep apnea, you can help advance research that myapnea.org is where providers, researchers, families, and patients can share and learn from each other. Fill out the online survey and wake up to a better future at myapnea.org, a public service from the American Sleep Apnea Association.
It's finally here, Genesis Diamond's largest ever sale on luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Hey, it's David Cooper, Vice President at Genesis Diamonds. If you've dreamed of wearing a Rolex, you can't miss this special two-day event, this Friday and Saturday. During this event, you can take advantage of special pricing and zero-interest financing on a stunning selection of luxurious pre-owned Rolex timepieces. We've got dozens and dozens of Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batman, Hulks, models you can't find anywhere else. All of our luxury pre-owned Rolexes are in pristine condition, some just out of the box, and all priced to sell at this event. And listen to this, with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 2-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings free. That's a $3,000 value. And listen up, Rolex owners, our pre-owned Rolex buyers are on site offering
Okay, I got Derek Webster on.
largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in the state and take advantage of special financing. It's this Friday and Saturday only, and only at Genesis Diamonds on Montgomery Road.
We're going abroad for the first time in years to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Mira, Jorge, let's bring the nail gun over here.
Jose stands tall. Flooring company.
Totally. It's renewable and moisture resistant, but we have several green options too. Or we got some beautiful reclaimed oak.
But floored by his success.
Stand by.
Stallers.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, welcome back into High School Football Tonight, powered by TriStateFootball.com. I'm Dan Claskins. He's Greg Shoemaker. We've got Kenzie Bartone behind the glass. We're getting some help from our friends Elena Moore, Keegan Woods, streaming us live on TSF YouTube's page, and you can get us on X at TS Football. Be sure to like us on Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you want to follow. We'll get you covered there. And right now we're going to get back out to our coach hotline and talk to another winning head coach. This one comes to us out of the CMAC tonight, where we had a battle to the finish. Took so long, such a great game. It went into overtime, where that is where it ended. Western Hills 26, Woodward 20. And here with us on the program to talk about this exciting win here tonight and get us up to speed on how it all unfolded, head coach Derek Webster. Derek, we appreciate you taking some time on your Friday night here. And goodness, this game was 6-0, I think, at halftime, and then it just got crazy down there. Take us through the finish and how your football team ultimately prevailed on this Friday night.
Yeah, we battled really hard the whole game. We let some opportunities get away from us. We had 4 turnovers, but our kids at halftime made a couple adjustments. We came out, and there in the fourth quarter, I mean, it's we go down by giving a safety, let them tie the game, and then we go down and give up a short yard touchdown. But our offense did a great job tonight. Our other coaches, my assistant coaches did a wonderful job, man. Our kids, they just battled, and we went down and scored at the end of the game with 26 seconds left.
Oh, wow.
And then I told them this is what memories are made of. It's senior night. Tell our seniors, like, hey, the first one's the hardest. Let's go get it. So overtime, we played defense. We got them off the field on the 4-yard line, and then we scored a goal line touchdown.
Nice.
Coach, it's not been an easy year for you guys, but to play in a game like this, I mean, the kids, I'm sure they're happy as all heck to just to be, a competitive night, and talk about how you can build on that, toward the end of this year and moving forward towards what you're trying to accomplish there at West High.
Yeah, our seniors are really great. And we played, I've been running the numbers. We played 17 kids that have never played varsity football this year. And we have not had the same starting lineup out this whole year. And looking back, I mean, next year we're bringing back 45 kids to start the year.
That's great.
So we're in a good position. It's been tough. I tip my hat to our seniors. It's hard your senior year to kind of rebuild and deal with the things that they deal with. And just over here, we deal with some different things. But our kids are resilient. Our kids we got great kids over here. I love them to death, and I'm so proud of them that they were able to get this one.
Yeah, it's a great story, and watching the character of these young men being built on it as each Friday night. And, with your time there and this team, in terms of some of these young kids, I mean, most of our listeners probably don't know some of these names. Tell us some of the, young playmakers we should have our eyes on here at Western Hills and these next couple of seasons.
Yeah, so our quarterback, Omari Beckley, he's a sophomore. His brother 2 years ago was the starting quarterback here. He scored the touchdown at the end of the game, and just having him he's so mature beyond his years with being a sophomore that he's become a great leader. We have a sophomore running back, Aaron Mitchell, that has really come on at the end of the year. When we had a couple running backs get hurt, he's taken over, and he's done a great job at not just running back, but also linebacker. We have a O-line, D-lineman, Stephen Mitchell. He's only a sophomore. He's big, strong. He's a leader. And just some of our seniors, Drayshawn Noah, Dank Justice, Amir Williams, Mike Johnson, our guys that just they battle and are, the future's bright here. We just got to make sure we keep our kids, and our seniors have done a great job of being able to hold on to, the kids and be great leaders too.
We're talking the head coach of the Western Hills Mustangs. They win tonight in a thriller over Woodward in overtime, 26-20. And Derek, I got to ask you before we let you go, how does a guy from Deltona, Florida, end up at Western Hills High School and next to Price Hill Chili?
So born and raised in Florida, and played college football up in North Carolina. But my whole family is actually from Northern Kentucky. My parents went to Campbell County High School. My whole family went to Campbell County High School. And so I coached at Newport and Mason County. Just 2 years ago, went to the state semifinals with Mason County. And then, kind of had the opportunity to come over here. I teach in Ohio now too. And, it just kind of came about, and it's been great since I've been here. And now we're just trying to bring some of that Florida attitude up here and get things right.
Looks like it's working out pretty well, my friend. Derek, we appreciate your time tonight. Thanks for sharing it, and congrats on that first win of the season. That sounds like just a perfect way to spend a Friday night.
Hey, that's right. My wife said she's glad we won, so that way I'm in a good mood this weekend for family pictures.
There you go. Wives do know best. We all know that. So well, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and congrats again on this big win.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
There you have it. So
he was an assistant coach down at Mason County. I forgot what Joe Wynn, and he was when Joe was at Newport, and he went down to Mason County, and Joe's doing a great job there. He's in that same district as Covcath.
Yeah, I mean, that's some great perspective there. And Shu, I mean, we've been doing this stuff long enough. We've seen plenty of 0-10 teams. We've always made a point from day one to, we find even positive stories in those teams, and that's part of what we do here at Tri-State Football. Is every team's got good stories.
Yeah, and
even if the records aren't good, and this is just another example of one of them.
Yeah, it's great to hear about some of these kids. Omari Beckley, I think it's good that some of us get to know that name, and he's got a couple years ahead of him. And yeah, I mean, Derek does a great job with that. I thought they were going to be a little bit better than they were this year, but you know what? Like he said, the future looks bright.
Yeah, I mean, heck, you start that many kids and never played a football game. That is what it comes down to. We got just a couple minutes here before the break, so I would like to just sort of update a few scorers that we have here from Indiana on our Underground Sports Shop scoreboard. The game is about to go final right now. Roncalli about to knock off East Central. It's 17-7 with 30 seconds. Roncalli just has to take a knee, so East Central will fall in that one. Lawrenceburg, they get past Dearborn on this Friday night, 17-14. Lawrenceburg scores are brought to you by Kelsey Truck Country on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg, Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full-service dealer and the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer, all because of your family. Believing in ours, from our families to yours, KelseyChev.com. Your thoughts on those two results, Shu?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised that South Dearborn hung as well as they did with Lawrenceburg. And, when we talk about the EIAC football, Franklin County's having a really good year. Quinn Gilman was our Mellow Window Player of the Week last week. A fine quarterback who actually had some injury problems last year. And not only does he play quarterback, he plays defensive back too. So keep your eye on Franklin County. They're all going to be matching up again. Lawrenceburg, Franklin County, Batesville, South Dearborn. They're all in that same sectional tournament that starts next week.
Don't have a final on the Franklin County. It was 29-22 versus Bluffton there. I do have a final. Batesville knocks off Connorsville 41-0 there. So we've got so much more to talk about, a full hour ahead, big games. We're going to look at how the playoff ranks have shaped out, the biggest surprises of the night. We obviously got some game balls, and Shu, we haven't even got to talk about some of the big games that happened. I mean, yeah, I know we talked a little bit, but we haven't dove into the stats yet on some of these games. Anderson, Wyoming. And even I'm a little interested to see what exactly happened with that West Claremont. We know how the game ended, but that was a big shift there in our Blitz 5 top 25. So needless to say, we got a few things still to break down and talk about. Some more coaches ahead. Stick around. A full hour left of high school football tonight with Dan Claskins and Greg Shoemaker here on Cincinnati's ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
We've been doing our own thing for more than 50 years at Gold Star. Also, you can do your own thing. The coney thing, the veggie thing, the fries thing, the juicy flat top burger thing, the cheesy, crunchy, wrapped up in a tortilla, can't believe this is a thing. It's not what you'd expect from a neighborhood chili parlor. And we think that's a good thing. At Gold Star, you're invited to come as you are, like what you like, and follow your own recipe.
Hey y'all, I'm Blake Shelton. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately so does something else, childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I'm Tim McGraw, and I have a challenge for you. Millions of Americans have type 2 diabetes, and I've seen how it impacts people from all walks of life. If you have diabetes, accept my challenge at americasdiabeteschallenge.com.
All families are different, and some have parents or children with little to no eyesight. But this doesn't stop them from sharing the work, play, love and laughter of family life. Eyesight doesn't define a parent, a child, or a family. What counts is being together. Want to learn more? Visit us on the web at blind.org. The National Federation of the Blind. Live the life you want.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, wherever the mission takes us, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
In retirement, I thought my husband and I would enjoy going places together. Our son's drinking interfered with our plans. We worried about him and our grandchildren and didn't know where to go for help. We found help and support at Al-Anon family group meetings in hospitals, churches, and schools. Is someone's drinking troubling you? You might be surprised at what you can learn at an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or go to alanon.org.
Let's trade keys today at Kelsey Chevrolet. 0% APR is back. Rebates up to $7,500 and a Kelsey exclusive. $1,500 trade assistance on all new Chevys. Only at Kelsey Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. KelseyChev.com.
I'm Shanola Hampton. Every day, millions of people face hunger. Today, I will share with you some of their experiences. I'm stuck between paying for medications or paying for food. John from Maine. After paying my bills, I can buy groceries. It's sad to say, food comes last. Alice from Oregon. I thought pantries were for less fortunate people, but anybody could be less fortunate in a day or even a second. Claire from Virginia. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. No one should have to worry where their next meal will come from. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Craving Penn Station East Coast subs? Skip the line and order online at penn-station.com. Get your favorite sub with fresh cut fries and fresh squeezed lemonade. Visit penn-station.com.
I called Tom Bolden, but he didn't answer, so I left a message. Is there anybody else who want me to try in the segment?
1 in 5 Americans experience emotion.
Okay.
Many of us do not understand what we are facing or how to ask for help.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, we work every day to eliminate stigma, combat mental illness and substance use disorders, and advance mental health.
If you or someone you love needs help, you are not alone. Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
Make it more at Thomas More University. Our
Standby.
program is designed with you in mind. Enjoy all access dining plans, easy parking, and more included with your tuition. Visit campus and receive an additional $1,000 yearly scholarship. Schedule now at thomasmore.edu.
WSAI Cincinnati, WCKY Cincinnati.
This is the High School Football Tonight Show, brought to you by AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Penn Station East Coast Subs. Penn Station, it's all in good taste. Thomas More University. Accelerate your career with a business degree from Thomas More University. And by Kelsey Chevrolet on Route 50 and 275 in Lawrenceburg. Greater Cincinnati's fastest growing full service dealer. And the Tri-State's #1 Chevy lease dealer. All because of your family believing in ours. From our family to yours. KelseyChev.com. This is High School Football Tonight.
Let's get it going here. Hour number 2, 3. I don't even know what hour it is.
I think
now.
we're in our last
We're
one.
in our final hour. Let's say that. He's Craig Shoemaker. I'm Dan Claskins. This is High School Football Night, powered by TriStateFootball.com. Kenzie Bartone doing a great job producing the program tonight. We have Elena Moore, Keegan Wood helping us out on our video stream. You can get over on our YouTube page and be sure to follow us all over social media, TriStateFootball.com. It's where high school football never ends. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on X, YouTube, Instagram, and now Twitch. And big thanks, as always, to all of you for listening. A great night for high school football, Week 9. Shoo, I mean, here we are. we're at mid-October. I mean, October the 18th. We got 2 more, tonight and next week, the final Friday night of October. And then November, we turn the calendar and it's playoff time. What's really here at stake? I mean, there's so many teams right now, so many teams making the playoffs, obviously, more than we used to have. But the idea right now is fighting for that positioning. But as Coach Specs alluded to when we spoke to him earlier, head coach Steve Specs, St. Xavier, it's like, man, you just want to get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You keep playing. That's all you really care about.
Right. I think that's exactly right, especially now. There's so much jostling in the middle of the rankings. We know Moeller, Anderson, and Winton Woods is still going to be up there high in the rankings when it all comes out. But the middle of the pack, that's the teams like Lakota East and Lakota or Hamilton, and those guys are fighting to get that second home playoff game and get into that top 4 spot. So, and that's just that part of it. And then you got all the other teams fighting just to get that one playoff game at home.
Yeah, it will be interesting. Obviously, tonight, the impact of some of these games, the playoff pairings as they come out next week. You and I will be here. We'll have a much greater picture of this. We'll be diving deeper into these playoff spots. What we do know going into the evening is, there's a lot of good football teams here, and definitely, in terms of clinching playoff spots, many of them already had, our Blitz 5 game of the night took us out to the ECC. It was West Claremont, who came into the week 15th ranked in our Blitz 5 top 25. They were taking on Loveland. This one was a battle to the finish. Loveland had a lead for a large portion of the football game, but it was West Claremont coming out on top, 21-17. This West Claremont team, I mean, you wrote about them all week. Obviously, we're out there with them tonight. They're a team that, probably is going to get a home playoff game or 2 out of this. And what's your overall observations as now we do sort of look at some of the stats from tonight's game? I mean, 309 yards of total offense on the ground. Loveland actually had a pair of turnovers. It was a 2-0 turnover ratio in favor of the visitors, but those turnovers, they were able to overcome and win the football game. And they did it by scoring 14 points in the fourth quarter and come back with a big victory here.
Well, I've said this all along. West Claremont's built for November football. They run the ball. They had 108 yards passing tonight, which is a lot for them. 201 on the ground, which is low for them. But, Landon Young does a great job. Bo Rickman does a great job moving the ball up and down, taking the time off the clock. And they're going to play a lot of close games. Chase Martin over at Loveland has been a godsend for the Loveland offense the last 5 weeks because they didn't really have an identity on offense, and now they do, running the ball a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see where they land in the playoffs because, like Dixie Heights, this is another team that doesn't have a lot of wins, but boy, you don't want to play them in the playoffs because you never know. They're capable of knocking you off. That's how close they are, both those teams.
Yeah, and elsewhere in the ECC, the big game of the night, one we talked quite a bit about on the program, Anderson and Winton Woods were tangling there. The Warriors started the week number 2 in the Division 1 Region 4 playoff pairings. Third-ranked Raptors knock off the fourth-ranked Winton Woods Warriors 31-17. And Winton Woods kept this game close. They did pull away by double scores there at the end. But, Greg, I mean, they were a flag away from cutting that lead to basically,
4 minutes left.
4 minutes left. So it was great. It was great to see. And we won't see these two teams play in the postseason anymore because they're no longer in the same division. But, man, it's a good thing they're in the same conference because it is a heck of a little rivalry brewing here.
Yeah, it is. And, Winton Woods had only given up 35 points on the whole season. They gave up 31 tonight. And we talked about how good the Anderson defense is. I think we got to pat them on the back a little bit. They now have only given up 63 points in 9 games. They're only giving up 7 points a game. And with that offense, oh my goodness, they're averaging just under 48 points per game. So I like where they're at. Now, D2 has got some really good teams. You got Massillon, Washington. You got Avon. You got a handful of other ones up there that are not in our area. Then you got LaSalle in Region 8 with Anderson. You got some other good schools in there. Kings, we haven't talked about Kings, but they played pretty good football, and they could be somebody to be reckoned with in Division 2, Region 8 as well.
Yeah, as the night began, Anderson, they were number 1 in Region 8 playoff pairings. Xenia, number 2. Harrison was 3. They got beat up pretty bad tonight. Kings, They were the 4th ranked team to start the playoff pairings there. And for their night, Greg, it was 7-7, but the Knights scored 20 unanswered to pull away to take down Turpin on this Friday night. Walnut Hills falls 41-6 to Lebanon. Milford 42-7 over Little Miami. And Milford, after a decent start, they've definitely stumbled upon some tough in their shoe. But we look at that contest tonight, and there was a whole lot of Luke Brand runs, 3 touchdown runs to open up the game there. And Luke Brand, passing the night, he had 22 at 26 for 293 yards, 2 passing touchdowns for the Milford quarterback. He also ran for 35 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground. So a huge night for the Eagles signal caller.
Yeah, he's had a good game. And, we talked with Coach Grippa last week. He's got 8 starters out that were, just haven't been healthy, and they lost to Kings last week because of that. But he says we're going to be better for it in the long run. And, some of that Luke Brand has to put on his shoulders as a senior and step up here over the next couple of weeks. But I think, they're going to win this next game as well going into the playoffs. I think it's Walnut Hills. Is that who they have next week?
Not certain on that, but
let me check real quick.
Definitely.
Oh, they're at Turpin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they could end up 5-5 and get, with a little bit of momentum going here into the playoffs.
Let's get to the Cincinnati Hills League portion of our scoreboard. Wyoming and Indian Hill. We talked quite a bit already about that one. It was the Cowboys winning by 10, 23-13 over the Braves. Finneytown falls to Madeira 12 to 10 there. Deer Park, Marymount. I was watching that stream there at the very end of it. It was down to the wire, but Deer Park holds on 18-13. Taylor defeats Reading 43-14. And the SWAC, Bishop Watterson over Harrison 51-14. St. Francis de Sales takes down Northwest by a score of 38-6. Talawanda Mount Healthy. That game was 56-24 Mount Healthy at last check, but I don't have a final on that game as of yet. In the Miami Valley Conference, some games that are final include Cincinnati Country Day 47-0 over Laughlin. We talked about it earlier. Miami Valley Christian, a game that started even earlier than St. X tonight. They win 15-12 in their contest versus, they knock off. Is that accurate? Was it knocked off Clark Montessori? I had it the other way around.
I think MVCA won that game.
MVCA
right?
did win that game, 15-12, and it was Zach Anderson on a 20-yard field goal to win that contest there. So, CHCA North College Hill 56-7. It was a pretty cool story for us this week. I was happy. North College Hill, a team that's been through quite a bit of turmoil. We had 2 of their games suspended because of shootings outside. A team that didn't even have senior night. A few weeks back, we had on the Roger Bacon team after they honored them at senior night at their school. But last week they were voted our Gold Star team of the week. And you'll be out at the school next week with Gold Star rewarding them that. But tonight they come out losing, but you know what? They are finding some positivities in the season, and that winning that award certainly was pretty cool.
Yeah, and I can't wait to get out there and see Coach Conwell. I haven't seen him in a few years, and he's a good dude. He does it right, and I think they're going to be all the better for having him there. And this program has been at the bottom for the last few years. And, what we know back in the day when Bruce Berenzi was there, they had players and they had talent and they were good. And I'd like to see them tap back into that again. So, one other thing I wanted to take a look at, Dan, is in the CHL, Taylor's won 4 in a row, and they are going to be playing Indian Hill for sole possession of second place of that league next week. And that's a huge game. Taylor's on a bit of a roll right now.
No doubt about it. I did have a couple other Miami Valley scores as well. Summit Country Day, they defeated Norwood 43-6, and it was Roger Bacon with a big victory tonight, 29-8 over Purcell Merriam. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with more scores, coaches, and breakdown of all tonight's top performances as we return with high school football tonight right here on ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
Mela Services has been your one-stop shop for window and carpet cleaning for 15 years. We've built a reputation for excellence with thorough, responsive, and dependable service. Mella's proud of our 4.9 out of 5-star Google ranking because it means we've delivered excellent service to our customers over and over again. So let us put our award-winning team of cleaning experts to work for you. Check us out at mellaservices.com/football.
Craving Penn Station East Coast subs? Skip the line and order online at penn-station.com. Get your favorite sub with fresh cut fries and fresh squeezed lemonade. Visit penn-station.com.
Ovarian cancer is devastating and difficult to diagnose. It's often only caught in advanced stages, and 4 out of 5 women will see the deadly disease return.
I knew when ovarian cancer recurs, it's often incurable. It was terrifying, waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Until recently, following chemotherapy, women with recurrent ovarian cancer had to simply watch and wait for their disease to come back.
Well, we say, not on my watch.
Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Now, with maintenance therapies, women can extend their time in response and delay recurrence.
Knowledge and awareness of your choices empowers you
and gives you a greater sense of control.
Let's call for a change in ovarian cancer care.
The Not On My Watch movement empowers women facing recurrent ovarian cancer to take an informed and active role in managing their disease. Visit notonmywatch.com to learn more.
Hey, you kids look great. Here you go.
Thank you. Now you can treat yourself to great savings with October specials from AE Door and Window. All this month, put no money down and get 0% interest for 2 years. Plus, take 5% off your total order when you combine and save on entry doors and windows from Provia and Pella, summer space awnings, and Clopay garage doors, and up to $125 off your new LiftMaster opener.
Find out more at aeDoorSales.com.
We sell the best and service the rest. AE.
There's something very dangerous. It could be hiding in a closet or waiting in the basement. It's not sharp or toxic or flammable, yet it helps send more people to the trauma center than any other household item.
Hey, hon, do me a favor and hold the ladder for me.
I have a better idea. Let's just call somebody to clean the gutters.
To scoop out a few leaves? I'll be down in a heartbeat. Whoa! Ow!
No!
Using a ladder might seem easy. Misusing one is even easier. Ask any of the 150,000 people who fell off their ladders into the trauma center last year alone. Don't let a do-it-yourself project do yourself in. For tips on ladder safety, visit orthoinfo.org, a public service message from the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, who want to keep your bones safe, strong, and well-connected.
Kelsey Chevrolet is the Tri-State's #1 Chevrolet lease dealer. Why? We believe in options over obligations, and we believe in the benefits of ownership without taking the market risk. That's the Kelsey way to drive a new Chevrolet. Together, let's drive at kelseychev.com.
This year, nearly 1 million pit bulls will be euthanized in U.S. shelters. These amazing dogs too often grapple with unfounded prejudices that overshadow their true nature. But there's hope, and you can make a difference. When you adopt or support an at-risk pit bull, you're not just saving a life, you're giving a loving soul a chance at happiness. Help us get these incredible dogs from the kennel to the couch. Follow us at kenneltocouch.org.
Saving money on everything now at Menards. We've got it all, from big to small. Fuel up with our great selection of groceries. Latza Matza Pizza is made with 100% real Wisconsin cheese, with a variety of unique ingredients for everybody. Latza Matza pizzas are on sale now through October 19th. View the weekly flyer and all of our great deals happening this week today on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
School may be out for the day, but that doesn't mean the learning has to stop. This is Becky Higgins, president of the Ohio Education Association. Student success depends on learning in and out of the classroom. So after that school bell rings, practice math on the way home with your child. Talk about the latest news, and take time to read together every night. Student success is a team effort.
A message from the Ohio Education Association.
Join Chick Ludwig and former Bengal David Fulcher Sunday after the game at Bad Tom Smith Brewery for post-game sports talk, 5:30 to 8 p.m. Join us for this live broadcast Sunday evening at Bad Tom Smith Brewery in Madisonville.
All right, let's jump right back into things with you here on High School Football Tonight, powered by TriStateFootball.com. He's Greg Shoemaker. I'm Dan Claskins, Kenzie Bartone behind the glass, and getting some help from Elena Moore and Keegan Wood. We're streaming live on Tri-State Football YouTube page. We're with you till 11 o'clock, and of course, you can thank that because of all of our great partners, including some of them that bring you high school football night every week. AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Thomas More University. Accelerate your career with a business degree from Thomas More University. And Penn Station. East Coast Subs. Penn Station. It's all in good taste. Be sure to stay tuned after us for our friends over on WLWT Blitz 5. They're live at 11 with all the scores and highlights from across the area. Join Charlie Clifford, Olivia Ray tonight at 11 on WLWT Channel 5. All right, Shu, let's get back out there to our scores and updates there as you have it. Let's go back out to Kentucky, where most games now are indeed final. We have 48-14, the fifth-ranked Cooper Jaguars. They win tonight over Boone County. Not a surprise here, Shu, but, I mean, this Cooper team, the best football is probably still ahead of it, but they have been very, very impressive.
I've been watching them, and they're pacing themselves, right? They're winning games, but they know they've got another 5-6 games left in this season if they want to be state champions. And I just like the pace that they're playing at. I love how many kids actually are polished and accomplished at the varsity level already. This is a very good Cooper team. I can't wait to see what they do in the playoffs.
Beechwood, they win tonight over Carroll County, 61-0. Fourth straight shutout, Shu. 61, 69, 42, and 61-0 against their four district foes here. They get Bracken County next week. They're 9-1. Their only loss came to Covington Catholic. That, of course, that was back in week 5. And that was a 49-28 game here, but 7-1, second in the RPI into a class football inside the state behind only Owensboro Catholic. And the Tigers team, I mean, we haven't really talked quite a lot about them, but I mean, obviously Clay Hayden's been something special there at quarterback. We know we like what we see in him. They still got a ton of young players as well contributing, and you know, some guys I used to go to high school with, kids are.
I got Coach Dreyer.
Caleb Aerosmith, some of these others, a really good young nucleus.
Yeah,
there.
Clay Hayden had 99 career touchdown passes going into tonight's game, so he's going to make Kentucky history with one of those tonight.
Oh, I'm sure he did make it, given the score 61-0. But right now, we're going to go back to Ohio, the ECCs, where we head, and it was a big win by the Anderson Raptors. They knock off Winton Woods tonight, 31-17. Here to talk about it with us now, their head coach, Evan Dreyer. And Evan, we appreciate you taking a few minutes. Congrats on the big win here tonight. A great game, and one your football team really finished well.
Yeah, we were really excited. We were down early on, and we came back. They got a 21-14 lead at halftime, and we had to control their offense. Man, their offense played really, really well in the first half, and we were able to do a couple things in the second half and get a lead and be able to get a couple of key stops down the stretch.
Boy, Evan, I'm glad that you guys had this game on Spectrum tonight, and everybody got a chance to see your defense, because I thought they were as good as advertised. I know Winton Woods has been good, but you guys are only giving up 7 points a game on the year. And talk about them, because this is really, I think, what makes your team special is how well you've played on defense all season long.
Yeah, Greg, I would be honest with you. Tonight we didn't play very good on defense in the first half. We gave a couple of explosive plays in the run game. I think Zeke, their running back, is going to be unbelievable. I think he's going to be as good as Mayan Williams. But I'm very interested to see how well we can improve over the next week as we enter regular season. But tonight, and over the case of the season, our defensive line is vastly improved, and our linebackers, we got a steady host of those guys that we rotate in, and then our defensive back play came up big tonight and got an interception at the end.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, Coach, because you guys, it was 24-17, final play of the third quarter. I believe the first turnover of the game. Winton Woods comes up with the big one. They get the ball back in midfield, but you know, your team didn't buckle on the adversity. Not only did they hold them in the punt, but right after the punt, the big 80-yard touchdown. I mean, that whole swing there, I mean, through the sidelines, it looked like you guys really kept their poise.
Yes, and I think throughout this close game, we needed one like this to see how good we are, to see what we can do with our momentum. And tonight, with all those momentum shifts back and forth and the physicality of it, we tested very, very well with our physicality, and we were able to come up with a victory at the end where we were able to run the ball just enough in a 4-minute drill.
Evan, your quarterback, Justice Burnham, he just makes such beautiful throws. The only place guys can catch the ball is where he puts it. He came into the night completing 74% of his percent of his passes, 27 touchdown passes, only 2 interceptions. But talk about him. I mean, every time I watch him, he's just putting the ball right where it needs to be. And they're not little passes. I mean, these are downfield big shots. He's really threading the needle as well as anybody I've seen.
I think he throws a really pretty ball, Greg. And this year of quarterbacks, I think he has really talented receivers. But Justice, playing 15 games last year and has great experience, is doing a really phenomenal job of quick release and getting the ball out of his hands and making some plays. And that's what's exciting about him, is that you saw growth year to this year. And then in a big game tonight, he was able to come up and play really, really well.
You wrap it up next week at Loveland. If you're making a wish list here, Evan, for your football team, I mean, what do you think you really need to see them execute here as we head to November, or maybe even improve upon it if you're going to make as deep of a run as many of your fans hope?
I think that this week versus Loveland is like a true test, and it's like a coaching cliche of overlooking people, because we haven't been 9-0 over 10 years. We've always, in Loveland in close games, it's their senior night. We have to be really intentional and focus on what can we do to make sure we get better this week, because we're going to look at the film, and man, there's some mistakes that both sides play tonight in a big game. And I think that's where we have to improve. And if they thought I was on them last week, I'm going to be on this week of how much we have to improve if we really want to chase this state championship that people talk about. But it's got to be one step at a time. We got to get better this week.
Yeah, Evan, and congratulations on the win tonight. Your 2009 was the last time you guys went undefeated in the regular season, and that was a special season as well. And always, as always, it's always good to talk to you, and we'll catch up with you here in a few weeks.
I hope to see you soon, Greg. I hope to see you very, very soon in the playoffs. And guys, have a great night. Thanks for what you do.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
There you have it. Evan Dreyer, Anderson, the Raptors. They go to 9-0 with a 31-17 win over Winton Woods. They were number 1 in the Ohio Division II Region 8 playoff pairings to start the week. That gap will widen here. A team that's definitely going to be poised for a deep run. They keep playing like they did tonight.
Yeah, I think this is that win probably clinched them their second home playoff spot. So, or playoff game. So, yeah, I mean, their level 2 points are going to go through the roof now in the computer rankings.
Absolutely. So we'll do this. We'll take a short break, come back. We got some more scores, some final touches to put on them before we get out of here. We got some game balls to hand out too. Stick around. Stan Klaskins. It's Greg Shoemaker. It's high school football tonight on ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
Before you turn on your furnace after it's been gathering dust all summer, give it a thorough tune-up. Call Help Home Services. We'll tune up your furnace for just $88 and guarantee that you'll save $88 on your energy. Okay. And we'll guarantee that your tuned-up furnace won't break down during the season or your money back. Schedule your furnace tune-up at 513-333-HELP or online at 333help.com. That's 333HELP.com.
Call 333-HELP.
Over the past few years, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected how we live our daily lives.
Today, 1 in 5 Americans experience emotional and mental health challenges, but many of us do not understand what we are facing or how to ask for help.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, we work every day to eliminate stigma, combat mental illness and substance use disorders, and advance mental health.
If you or someone you love needs help, you are not alone. Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Getting support from friends online kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
Instead of smoking after I ate, I'd get up and take a walk.
I missed having a cigarette in my hand, so I'd hold a pen or a straw, anything.
Until I knew I wouldn't give in to temptation, I spent more time with my friends who didn't smoke.
I went to places that were smoke-free.
I didn't stay quit the very first time I tried.
I kept on trying, and I learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
I quit.
I quit.
I quit.
We did it, so can you.
You can quit. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and CDC.
As far back as she can remember, Amy loved computers. How they worked, what they could do. They were a challenge. She wanted to learn as much as she could. So she harnessed her passion, and now she's a cybersecurity officer in the military. If you have a passion, a vision for your future in any field, todaysmilitary.com can be your path to a fulfilling career. You have a calling, we have an answer. Find your way at todaysmilitary.com.
Join Chick Ludwig and former Bengal David Fulcher Sunday after the game at Bad Tom Smith Brewery for post-game sports talk 5:30 to 8 p.m. Join us for this live broadcast Sunday evening at Bad Tom Smith Brewery in Madisonville.
A message from DAV to all returning veterans. Thank you. Thank you for doing your duty. Thank you for doing our bidding. Thank you for laying it all on the line. Thank you for stepping up and not backing down. Thank you for putting your future on hold to put our enemies on notice. Thank you for putting your buddies' lives ahead of your own. Thank you for putting yourself in harm's way. Thank you for defending our freedom, for displaying your honor, for being a hero, even though you don't want to be called one. For all this and more, DAV thanks you, and we're here to help you. Expert DAV advisors will make sure you get the health, disability, and financial benefits.
Coach Hancock said he doesn't want to do an interview.
Visit DAV.org for free help. And again, thank you.
What's the best place to reach new customers for your business?
Okay.
And that's exactly where you can be with iHeartMedia. We talk to our listeners every to the gym, to the kitchen. Your next customer is listening. And not only can we get your message to your also show you how it's working in real time. That goes for broad brand messaging and targeted hyperlocal influencer campaigns alike. Start growing your business today. Dial pound 250 and say great results. That's pound 250, say great results.
Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I want to share with you the experience of Donna in Washington. She writes, I got injured about 5 years ago.
Alrighty, I got Coach Bolden on.
When, because of the injury, I couldn't keep up with my schedule. I've tried to find other work, but I'm 68 now. No one wants to hire someone that old. This week is tough, though, because I had to get my tooth fixed. So I only have $10 in my checking account. But it will be okay. I at least have food because of this pantry. Millions of people face hunger. Some every day, just like Donna. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200
Here we go.
strong.
All right, let's get right back to it here on High School Football Tonight, powered by TriStateFootball.com. He's Greg Shoemaker. I'm Dan Klaskins. We are with you until the top of the hour, working our way through all the scores on a busy Friday night, and we'll go back to the GMC where Lakota West took control of the conference tonight with another win, moving to 8-1. They knocked off their rivals Lakota East 42-24 was the final there as they come out on top. With us now, the head coach of Lakota West, Tom Bolden, to take a couple minutes with us. Coach, always appreciate your time. Congrats on the win here tonight, and really a pretty close contest, but your team just kept on the board and looking pretty good on this Friday, Coach.
Yeah, no, we've been clicking pretty good, obviously, offensively last 5 weeks and now 6 weeks, and we knew they had a really good offense. I mean, the quarterback. JT Kitten, he's a phenomenal football player, great running back, great receivers, tight end, big O-line. So we knew we had our work out up for us. Coach Kitten has done a great job with that group, flipped the script from last year. So, we knew we were going to be in a battle. It's emotional. It's the big rival for the battle for Lakota. So we were playing in the chaos. I think our kids really responded. So I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, hey, one of the things I like about this team, Tom, it's sort of being overlooked as your defense. You prided yourself on that when you came to West, and it's been a staple for you as how well you played. But when I was looking at your team, you haven't up until tonight. You didn't have a whole lot of takeaways, not a whole lot of sacks, but you guys have a great knack of getting off the field quickly and letting your offense get back on there and do its thing. But talk about that unit, because you had 3 takeaways tonight. Yeah, you were doing it against Kitna. You got to be pretty pleased with the way it ended up.
Oh yeah, no question about it. Yeah, it's a little, looking at it, during this year, at one point, maybe I think we were like week 4 or whatever. We only got like one turnover created. So, it's been a little weird, but it's just a solid team. Like, it is hard, to consistently march down the field. I mean, we're big up front defensively, and then, the linebackers are just so good and cover so much space, and secondary's been playing well. They struggle a little bit tonight, but that I think has a lot to do with that offense. But yeah, no, we pride ourselves on that, and we're going to get after it defensively. And we got great schemes that we do. Tyler Hall's my D coordinator, Phil Joseph. We come up with great schemes, put the kids in great spots, and as long as they do their assignments and they play so dang hard, they get after it pretty good now.
Tom, really, since you guys, lost the tough one there to Princeton, I mean, tonight was really the closest you get been in a contest since then. I mean, it's been smooth sailing as you worked your way through there. From a coaching perspective, I mean, how do you keep them grounded here? I mean, tonight you got some things to talk about, like, for instance, all these penalties that they were getting and things like that. But how do you keep the kids grounded and focused on the task at hand?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, this one was a good one because here we are week 9, and this was a playoff type game. So I think to have a playoff type game so late in the season is huge for us. And like you said, I think, we got a lot, it's a big win for us, but tomorrow morning when we sit down and watch this film with the kids, there's a lot that they got to learn from it. And that's the greatest thing about it, to be in a position where we come out with a really good solid win, but yet there's stuff to work on. And like you said, one of them's the penalties. I mean, it's an emotional game. I told we got to play in the chaos. It's one of the terms I use with the kids all the time. And we just lost our focus at time, had some dumb penalties, things we control. So we definitely got to clean that up.
I want to talk about your quarterback, Sam Wiles. I don't know if there's a better, more underrated player in the state of Ohio. I mean, 8 for 9 tonight, 77 yards and a touchdown, 99 yards and 2 touchdowns on 26 carries, 20-2 as a starter at West. Just talk about this kid, because I mean, we've been talking about him all night here on High School Football Tonight. He's just a solid football player, and he wins constantly.
Yeah, that's the great thing about it. I mean, how he's improved from last year, what he's done in the off season to put himself there physically and mentally, and he runs the ball so well. He's a powerfully built kid. He's not a big kid, but pound for pound, he's really, really strong. He has great balance, great vision, great acceleration. And he's just tough. He's just a tough kid. So, and he can whip it around now. So he has done a tremendous job. I don't know where he's going to go next year to play football, but somebody's going to get a good one for sure. And I think each week he keeps getting better and better.
Tom, one final thing before we let you roll here. Obviously, tonight's senior night there. You talk about him, but the class as a whole, I mean, when you look back at it, what's going to be the legacy?
You know what? I mean, like I said, all the wins and everything else, but I think they are as fine as kids as they are football players. You know what I mean? I mean, they are a great group. I don't have teachers that come to me, hey, about this kid or that kid. They are just solid in what they do. They're all great in the classroom. I mean, I've got, 6, 7 starters that are well above a 4.0 GPA. Wow. I got another whatever above 3.8. I got another above 3.5. Like, they're just a solid group, and they're great kids with great families. And I think that just transforms out onto the field and how they play. So, the wins and losses they'll be remembered for, obviously, but I'll remember them for just as how special they are, how fun they're be around, the conversations I get to have with them day in and day out, and just how great kids they are.
Hopefully that story is still best unwritten for them as well. We obviously have a big chunk of football left, Tom. We wish you the very best as you gear up for the playoffs and as wrap it up next week there with the season finale at Mason.
I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you guys just keep killing it, rocking it year in and year out, man. It's been fun doing this with you guys for a lot of years. You guys keep it rolling, okay?
Thanks, Tom. You too, man.
All right. There you have it.
Guys. See you, fellas.
See you later. 42-24.
Slackers tonight.
West
They only scored 42.
East. Coach is right, Greg. I mean, this team, 51-7, 52-0, 52-0, 52-7. 50-14 the first game of that span. I mean, they're putting up 50 plus in uncontested 5 straight weeks to get a game like this. Because guess what? I mean, they started tonight. They're not even in the top 4 seeds. I mean, they're going to move up.
Mm-hmm.
But that, this is a team that hopes to have a couple more home games too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And they'll come out and support that up there at West. They have a big support group there. So, yeah. One of the guys we didn't get to talk about tonight is this Kenyon Norman sophomore who runs a 4.340. Just a super player that they're just now tapping into his talents, and it's starting to show on the field. This guy is a game breaker in so many different ways. I can't wait to see what he does come postseason.
Going to be exciting to say the least. Elsewhere in the GMC tonight, Oak Hill's 21-18 over Fairfield. Princeton 13-7 holds off Middletown, a scoreless second half in that contest. Mason 29-7 over Sycamore, and the Big Blue of Hamilton 38-0 over Colerain. And as always, those Hamilton scores brought to you by AE Door and Window Company. They sell the best and service the rest. Our thanks to Bill and Adam Weber for their continued support of high school football tonight for all these many years. So, Greg, I can't believe it. We're down to one segment left. We got some game balls to hang out. We'll go through some scores. We're going to get your big surprises of the night, talk about what are the early headlines are going to be looking like as we head towards week 10. Wow. I can't believe we're wrapping up the regular season. Next, we'll be wrapping up tonight's edition of this show when we return after this short message with more high school football tonight on Fox Sports 1360 and Cincinnati's ESPN 1530.
Mela Services has been your one-stop shop.
Okay, guys, I have a 30-second bumper that I'll play when you guys have 30 seconds left because it's hard timed at 59:50.
Service.
Yep.
Mela's proud of our 4.9 out of 5-star Google ranking because it means we've delivered excellent service to our customers over and over again. So let us put our award-winning team of cleaning experts to work for you. Check us out at melaservices.com/football.
Kids, they're just different than us. They have no inhibitions, consider silverware optional, and can find fun anywhere. And when kids get really sick, they're different than us too. Until now, children diagnosed with blood cancer have been treated like many adults. Not anymore. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society proudly introduces the Dare to Dream Project, transforming treatment and care through advocacy, education, and the largest global clinical trial for kids with blood cancer. For the first time, a specific treatment can be matched to a specific type of cancer in a specific child. It'll be the biggest medical advancement for little patients in history. Dare to dream with us. Support the Dare to Dream Project and all the work that the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society does at LLS.org.
Hey everybody, we are Lady Antebellum. When we started out in Nashville, we never imagined what we were going to be able to achieve. We got here because we worked together and had each other's backs.
In America, we have the privilege of being a diverse society made up of people from all kinds of backgrounds. And that's a big part of what makes this country such a great place to live.
When we put aside our differences and work together, there is no challenge too great to overcome. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
A message from DAV to all returning veterans. Thank you. Thank you for doing your duty. Thank you for doing our bidding. Thank you for laying it all on the line. Thank you for stepping up and not backing down. Thank you for putting your future on hold to put our enemies on notice. Thank you for putting your buddies' lives ahead of your own. Thank you for putting yourself in harm's way. Thank you for defending our freedom, for displaying your honor, for being a hero, even though you don't want to be called one. For all this and more, DAV thanks you, and we're here to help you. Expert DAV advisors will make sure you get the health, disability, and financial benefits you were promised and earned. If you're a veteran, visit DAV.org for free help. And again, thank you.
Hey, y'all. I love that country music connects people all over this great nation, but unfortunately, so does something else: childhood hunger. 15 million children struggle with hunger in America. That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks works to rescue our surplus food to help provide billions of meals to families in need across the country. Join the fight against hunger at feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Homeowners, the Fed has taken action, lowering rates for the first time in years, and Loan Pronto is also lowering mortgage rates big time. Eddie here. It's the best chance in 2 years to do a cash out refi and unlock all that equity at an amazing rate. Loan Pronto has fixed loans under 5% APR, the lowest in 2 years. You can get a fast refi and get thousands in cash. Use it to pay off your credit cards and all your other loans. You'll end up with one payment, and for most homeowners, they save over $850 every month. If you want to keep your original mortgage intact, ask about the Loan Pronto Express Equity Line of Credit. If you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Get your rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call 513-800-1550, loanpronto.com, 513-800-1550. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, MLS, consumeraccess.org.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, your life.
One would like to say hi to you guys before you leave.
StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
Beyond the look.
He broadcasts the Princeton stuff.
They will be on the prowl Sunday, October 20.
Wright State grad.
Come to Cincinnati.
It's time to white out the jungle. The challenge is on to join
He says he tags you all the time on Twitter.
everyone, all wearing white for this nationally televised game.
Don't wait. Very limited tickets.
Stand by.
Visit Bengals.com/tickets and rule the jungle with us. The Bengals-Eagles game is presented by Swift Meats.
Back into high school football tonight, powered by TriStateFootball.com. Dan Claskins, Greg Shoemaker. Week 9 is over. Well, not really. We still have some games tomorrow, but for the most part, is in the books. And we really appreciate all the help tonight from our producer, Kenzie Bartone. Of course, our friends Elena Moore and Keegan Wood in here live streaming our show over on the Tri-State Football YouTube. And all of you for listening. We had some great coach interviews tonight. Really appreciate all of those. You can get those on our website and by subscribing to the Tri-State Football Podcast wherever you listen. Go under podcast there. We'll have those up as well as articles and always keeping you up to date with the latest games. We do have some games tomorrow, including the top-ranked team in our Blitz 5 Top 25, the Moeller Crusaders in action versus St. Edward. That game clicks off at 3 p.m. Dayton Christian Schroeder at 10:30 in the morning, followed by Aiken and Taft at 11. CCPA and Gamble Montessori, they'll kick it off at 3, and 19th ranked Baden and our Blitz 5 Top 25 in a GCL co-ed Saturday night showdown with Chaminade Julienne at Fairfield High School. That game will kick off at 7 p.m. Eastern.
If Baden wins that, they will play McNick in week 10 for the GCL co-ed championship. Both teams hot as heck. I think McNick's won 8 in a row now.
Oh, wow. So definitely some good things there. Again, we also thank all of our sponsors at TriStateFootball.com, proud supporters of our high school football and everything we do on our website. Our community partners include Gold Star, follow your own recipe, Mela Window and Carpet Cleaning, the best in residential cleaning services, the Underground Sports Shop, showcasing pride on and off the field, and the U.S. Marines. And, of course, After we're off the air, head over, turn on WLWT Blitz 5 live at 11 with all the scores and highlights from across the area. Join Charlie Clifford, Olivia Ray. You can get them tonight at 11, WLWT Channel 5 for the best highlights in the city. Shu, before I run through the scoreboard for one more time, just big headlines tonight as we turn the page towards week 10. Like, what are the big takeaways you have on this Friday night? Looking at, races that are won, things that are unsettled. What are we going to be talking about on Saturday morning?
Anderson, how good they are. I know they only given up 17 to Winton Woods today and put up 31 against that defense. They'd only given up 35 in the first 7 weeks. So Anderson, or first 8 weeks, Anderson tonight, really good. The other one I really thought was good tonight was West, putting up 42 against a Nice team that, that's an emotional game, and you got to come out and be better than your emotions. I thought they did that tonight, and Tom thought so as well. So, those are the games. Oh, and in Wyoming beating Indian Hill, and really for the most part, it was pretty convincing all the way into late in the fourth quarter there.
No doubt about it. Let's get out to that Underground Sports Shop scoreboard. Let's go to Kentucky. Lots of finals here. Beechwood 61-0 over Carroll County. Cooper Downs, Boone County 48-14. Coven Catholic 56-6 winners over Harrison County. Dixie Heights, too much for Scott, 48-14 there. Ryle holds off Great Crossing 36-8. 42-14. Lloyd Memorial does end up falling on the road at Lexcath, but gives up a good effort there, 23-14. Ludlow 46-35 over Bishop Brossard. Newcastle Downs Dayton 44-8. Simon Kenton 48-29 over Campbell County. Walton Verona, big district win for them. They knock off Gallatin County 35-8. Greg, my game ball from Northern Kentucky I wanted to hand out. I'm going to give it to Brady Lee. This game here between Simon Kenton and Campbell County. What a big night. Simon Kenton, 497 yards of total offense, 24 first downs in the game. Campbell County's offense had 378 yards themselves, but this was a shootout. Brady Lee, how about this? Over 400 total yards, 6 touchdowns, and the Pioneers win. He gets our first game ball.
Heck yeah, man. Way to go, Brady Lee. They always have some fun games, don't they? Just offensive battles when you get Simon Kenton out there back and forth.
Let's go over to Ohio. I'm going to give out a game ball there. We've got one, Milford and Little Miami. We talked about this contest earlier, but Luke Brand, he ran for 3 touchdowns tonight, passed for 2 more. Most importantly, the Eagles snapping that 4-game losing streak, and they do so with this signal caller having a game of the ages. He finished with 31 rushing yards. He was 22 of 26 through the air for 293 yards. A big night here. At least 4 Eagles caught 5 or more passes in this contest. So they got healthy. They got that winning streak, or that losing streak ended with a big dub here.
They absolutely did. And I want to talk about a team that's on a winning streak. Mason, they won tonight 29-7 over Sycamore, and quarterback Austin Sheaf, 13 for 17, 194 yards, and 3 passing touchdowns. Brian Kastner, what are you doing? He's don't get 3 touchdown passes very often over there for a Mason quarterback. He loves that running, but hats off to Sheaf as Mason won their 4th straight game.
I'm going back to Kentucky for my game ball, my next one, and I'm going to go to Highlands. We had head coach Bob Spire on the show tonight. They looked very impressive, and against a good Connor team, they win 42-14 tonight, playing without their top rusher, Adam Surrey, as we learned in the interview with Coach. But Rio Libmer, they had him 332 yards, 4 passing touchdowns. We'll give him a game ball. Why don't we give Jackson Arnold 1 for 2 for the Bluebirds? 10 catches, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns of his own. They had over 500 yards of offense tonight. The Bluebirds, they're flying high.
Absolutely. And talk about flying high. How about Lakota West quarterback Sam Wiles? 199 yards rushing, 7 for 8, 7 yards, and 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground and 1 through the air.
Yeah, what a big night there indeed. And, I love seeing those types of performances. Let's stay in the ECC for another game ball here, Shu, and Lebanon. They win tonight big time. 27 second quarter points they put up. And part of that was all the touchdowns that Logan Schmeck was running for. He only had 12 carries, but he finished with 94 yards and 2 touchdowns, which was more than enough as Lebanon breezes by Walnut Hills 41-6.
And you heard him right here on these airwaves. Daniel Vollmer running for 4 touchdowns, and St. X's 31-19 win over St. Ignatius, Vollmer, 163, a season high 163 yards on the ground.
Yeah, let's go to the SWAC tonight, where there was 106 points put on the board. I was watching it on football, Friday Football Live. There is one of the games. 62-42 was the score as Mount Healthy knocked off Talawanda. And Greg, even though it was in a losing effort, Kale Leach tonight, 4 touchdowns, 3 of them in a single quarter, which is pretty impressive here. Offensive all around. So we're gonna really give the entire Mountain Healthy offense the game ball here. They finished with 412 yards of total offense.
Well, we're gonna go that route. Let's go with the Western Hills Mustangs. Give everybody on the team a game ball, collecting their first win of the year and ending a 10-game losing streak. Derek Webster and his guys had a fun one tonight, 26-20 in overtime over Woodward, and I know those kids are smiling and up very late this evening.
Yeah, we had to give a game ball out to a kicker too, right? We talked about MVCA getting that big win over Clark Montessori, 15-12. Zach Anderson, he hits a 20-yard field goal as time expires there. Always love seeing the kickers getting a little bit of the recognition.
And you talk about a game where defense ruled in the second half. How about Princeton's win over Middletown and Andrew Wells getting 2 picks in that game? And nice job by the junior defensive back there getting it done.
No doubt about it. My final game ball of the night, Greg, how about we go out to Oak Hills? They get the win tonight. They do it. A 3-yard touchdown run was a little not enough there. Fairfield actually in this game, Greg, just so you know, they were down 14-3. They came all the way back, but the stop that happened at the end came up big time. Max Rhodes, 15 total tackles, 12 solo in the contest, a fumble forced and recovered. A big deal, this defense coming up with the stops that they needed.
Yeah, nice job against Tyler George there, holding him to 124 yards. That was something that who couldn't hold him last week. Oh, Princeton couldn't hold him back last week. So yeah, nice job there by those guys. I don't know if I can find another game.
Well, that's all right, because we're fresh out of time, man.
Okay,
it's time to put the finishing touches. If you have a player or a team you'd like to nominate for our Gold Star Team of the Week or our Mellow Window and Carpet Cleaning Player of the Week, be sure to send us those emails before 9 a.m. Sunday. Staff at Tri-State Football there. Go to tristatefootball.com, of course, for all the recaps of all tonight's action. We'll get you ready for Week 10 as well. We've got Sam Reed with our YouTube Plays of the Night coming up right after the show. And, of course, Jacob and Danny will be back with the recap show. Greg and Safwan, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Shu, final thoughts before we wrap it up.
Yeah, next week's got some great games. McNick Baden, Taylor, and Indian Hill. There's another one I can't remember.
Well, let's not forget about our Blitz 5 game of the week at the Pit, baby.
At the Pit for LaSalle. That's another good one. Yeah.
LaSalle Elder. I mean, I know the GCL South's decided, but that one promises to be a good one.
Lots still on the line there.
For all of us here at Tri-State Football, Greg Shoemaker, our producer, Kenzie Bartone, I'm Dan Claskins. We hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks for listening to another edition of High School Football Tonight on ESPN 1530 and Fox Sports 1360.
WSAI